can hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
Did you do any Black Friday shopping?
Well, Black Friday, man, we don't like, man, there's too many things going on in the world right now, to be honest with you, man. So when you talk about Black Friday, I mean, you might well be talking about some cyber Black Friday for me, man. You know what I mean? I'm online. I'm looking at stuff online. So I did some stuff online, got some kids stuff, you know, from Christmas stuff, but you ain't gonna catch your boy out there in them stores, man. It's man, the world is crazy out there right now, man. I don't know what's be going on, but almost probably in the last 4 or 5 years straight, man, on Black Friday, somebody is getting killed somewhere, man. It cannot be that freaking serious, man. It cannot be that serious out there. So from now on, man, any kind of Black Friday, anything like that, me and Ella be in the crib, man. We'll be on the internet, man. You know, she gonna be on one couch, I'm gonna be on another couch, man. We just gonna be doing what we gotta do, man. How about you, man? You out there in them streets?
Nah. Are you willing to die for these discounts? Nah. Me, I am. Well, this Black Friday we had a dinner, so we didn't do it on Thanksgiving. We did it yesterday. Now we got some outlets close to where I live. If anybody in the Maryland area, the DMV area, the Tanger outlets, and they were packed, man. Like packed. It looked violent. You know what I'm saying? It did look violent out there. So I've never shopped for Black. I never did Black. I never really did it ever, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and then when I did do it, man, it was more like for electronic stuff, though. I never really like did it for clothes, never really did it for anything like that. I always did it for something like electronics, something that may have just came out. I'm just trying to check and see is it out there. And most of the time it's not. So it kind of got like craze for me even going out there, man. I don't know if I ever like had something that I wanted to get, like personally wanted to get, and then on Black Friday I went out there and actually achieved that goal. Because I'm not getting up at midnight. I'm not doing all that. So
and now they got Cyber Monday.
Yeah. So
and is Black Friday still something that people getting up at midnight and doing all that?
Yeah, man. People are out there, man. That's what I'm telling you. It's just crazy, man.
It's crazy. That's like, you know, remember Star Wars when people used to camp, like when they first re-released it and people was camping outside? Was people doing that for the last Star Wars movie too? Like the latest one?
I don't know, but I won't be surprised.
Like you would think after a while, it's like remember the Popeye's chicken sandwich when it first came out? People was like somebody died. Like
man.
Pretty much on the strength of one of them.
Yeah, getting slapped with chickens and everything, man. It's crazy.
that was Bill Cosby. that was Bill Cosby.
Slapped with chickens, man. All type of shit going on, man.
Yeah, that was Bill Cosby who got slapped with a chicken patty, I think. You know what I'm saying? But I just think it's crazy that we still, if Black Friday was a thing, like where people was going crazy and doing all this crazy stuff, I think it's crazy that it's still a thing after all these years. Like,
man,
it didn't wear off yet. You know what I mean? And me personally, all these holidays is a way to get some money up out of us anyway. So, so I try to avoid them, whether it be through decorations, like everything, man.
Yeah, that's something I'm probably gonna be working on today. Some decorations, man. I ain't looking forward to it either, man.
Yeah, I remember last time we recorded, it was, I think, the day after Thanksgiving, 2 days after, and y'all had the Christmas tree up there,
man. And I'm like this, like yesterday, man, like Friday. So Thanksgiving was Thursday. We did a little food or whatever, and Ella started breaking out the little stuff for Christmas. And I'm like, oh, hold up,
trying to get to work.
I'm like, hey, hold up, now, shit.
It's time to get to work.
You know, and I only can halt it for one day. Like yesterday, I said, hold up, baby. You know what I mean? Let me do this tomorrow or whatever, right? Yeah. So I halt. That's the only day I got, one day, man. So today I'm gonna have to get out there and get it, man.
It's time to get. So this is completely off topic, but my mom was here yesterday, and we were talking. They was talking about this movie. I think it's called The Girl in the Room. Did you see that? The Girl in the Room.
Mm-mm.
So this dude, he like traps his daughter in the basement of his house, like a soundproof room. He had, like, in real life, he had like 6 kids from her. I don't know. It's based off a real story. In real life, he had like 6 kids from her. I don't know how many kids he had from her in like the movie. I think like 3 or something. I ain't watched the movie yet. But he traps her in the room on her, like when she 18. She's supposed to be like on her way off to college or whatever in this movie. And that's what her mom thought. Like she was on her way off to college. So he traps her in the room, down the basement, tell the mom not allowed to ever go down the basement. You know what I'm saying? So his daughter's in there. He's having kids with her, getting her pregnant, like doing all this stuff.
Ooh, I might have did see something like that. I'm thinking
Yeah.
now. Go ahead.
Because he was like, I mean, that's it. But he was like, I guess she had a boyfriend and she was trying to get out. Like when I leave, you know, my dad's too overprotective. I ain't watch it yet. I'm gonna watch it. But it was like my dad's too overprotective. When I leave the house, I'm never, you know, I'm be free. I'm a, you know, whatever. And then when she turned 18, supposed to go off to college.
Yeah.
He did that. In real life, the dude said that she joined like a cult, like a religion, like a cult or something. And when she had kids, because he had kids from her, he had like 6 kids, but 3 of the kids he actually dropped them off on the front porch of their house. So the wife, her mom, she would take care of the kids. So they were taking care of the daughter's kids, and this real story. And they were saying she was a part of some cult, and the sect wouldn't let them have kids, so she would drop them off, you know, on a porch. So that would make her feel like her daughter was alive and well, but just a part of the cult. But she would never like really be allowed to go into the basement.
That's
so
crazy.
She never, you know, found like. Well, it was 24 years he had her in there.
God dang, that's crazy, man.
So they got
That's
out,
crazy.
but it was 24 years.
But that lets you know, man, how crazy this world is, and man, some crazy shit be going on in the world, man. That's like blow your mind, man.
Yeah,
but some people be thinking that's like okay when they for their mentals anyway, man. They be thinking, okay, this is what I'm doing, but man, that's crazy right there, man.
These be people that you see, you know. I was stationed with somebody, man. I went back to visit. People was like, "Hey, you heard about, you know, such and such?" I'm like, "Nah." Dad's like, "Yeah, you know," and they know I ain't heard about him. They just want to tell me, you know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you heard about him? Nah. Dad's like, "Yo, he was molesting his stepdaughter for like X amount of years, and when she turned 18 or something like that, she wasn't, you know, having it no more." But this is like a dude that we used to sit talk about, like compare like J. Cole and like just like people used to talk like compare J. Cole to Kendrick, Drake. Like we used to sit and like talk about sports with him, talk about like all types of stuff, talk about women, like, and then come to find out the whole time this dude has been molesting his daughter. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't a sailor, this was a civilian, but I mean, we've heard stories like this about sailors, service members, all types of stuff, man.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's a crazy world, man. Sick, crazy world we live in, man. People are doing all type of stuff, man.
So, you know, to kind of switch gears, I do want to talk about the seller, Brandon Forbes. So I want to talk about Brandon Forbes, and I don't know much, but I do want to, you know, at least dedicate this episode to his family. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of, you know, shout his family out in this time of their loss. But it says that he died. He was stationed on the USS Ronald Reagan, and he was found dead on base. So, Seaman Brandon Forbes, 20, of Maple Heights, Ohio. He was an MMFN. He worked nuclear reactor department. I guess he failed to report for duty, and they consider, which, you know, would be UA for us. And I don't know what happened then. You know, I know what we do, you know, when a seller, you know, fails. I know the protocol. So hopefully everything within, you know, the protocol happened, which I'm sure most likely did. And then somebody called NCIS about the body's location. But the report, they wouldn't give like the name of the person who did that or the time or how long they, you know, the body, you know, have been dead.
Yeah.
So far, no evidence of foul play. And then the last thing I read that I didn't necessarily know how to receive it. I understand it, but it said the ship remains focused on the mission. And that was from a representative from the ship, a representative from Stars and Stripes. It was a little confusing. I don't know if she got that information from the CO or if she was speaking, but it said the ship remains focused on the mission.
I mean, it came from the CO. I mean, it come from the PAO, but the CO said it or had something to do with it. Regardless, they ain't gonna put nothing out, coming outside of the ship if the CO didn't have something to do with it. But you know, when I look at this story, man, I look in every other story that comes out like this. The first thing I think about is the families, man. Like
Yeah.
we grow up and we like my son Mark, man. I just sent my son to the United States Navy thinking that he is being taken care at the highest level of being taken care of, you know. And I know
Yeah.
things happen and you can't do nothing about it, but I am putting my son or my daughter's, you know, life in the Navy's hand, and all of a sudden I get that phone call saying my son and passed away from something. That'd be devastating for me, like
Yeah.
devastating. So I can, that's the first thing I think about as a family, because they think their kid's good to go. They think their kid is, you know, like, man, he's in the Navy, man. Boom, boom. You know, this is a great opportunity for him, and he going out and do great things, serving his country and all type of stuff, man. And then you get a phone call like this, man. So, you know, condolences to the family, man. This got to be devastating for them, man. 20 years
Yeah.
old, man. Seaman
20
Brandon
years
Forbes
old, man.
from Ohio, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, he said
Crazy.
Brandon Forbes, which they say seaman, but he's a fireman, right?
Yeah, fireman. Yeah,
Fireman
fireman.
Brandon
That's what
Forbes.
they do it when they put them in them things. They
Yeah,
say
in the newspaper.
automatically everybody see me.
They don't know. The
Yeah.
newspaper don't know what the hell, you know. But yeah, fireman Brandon Forbes, man. Yeah. Rest in peace. Rest in peace
Yeah,
to the
man.
family on that one, man. It's
For
sad.
sure.
I mean, we lose service members often. You know what I'm saying? And it's never ever, especially on ships. You know, and it is a thing to have to get back to being focused on the mission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, man.
saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of them things. You gotta be focused on the mission. You always focus on the mission. I don't think that's nothing I put in the stars and stripes. that
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not. Yeah, I don't need to
I'm
tell the
focused
reporter
on,
that.
yeah, I'm focused on the mission. Nah, it's like, yeah, we always focus on the mission, man. We know that.
Yeah, that's a given. You know,
Yeah.
it's time for us to kind of highlight that we're gonna be focused on, you know, the psychology, the mental health of our sailors that's going through this, you know, problem at the time. We never talked about this, like we did on a podcast that never came out, but we lost, you know, a sailor on a ship,
Hmm.
GM3 Turner,
Yeah.
right, Gerald Turner. So we lost him, and that rocked a lot of people. Like, you know, people weren't the same after that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this the story about that, man. That was the day that I left the ship. The same actual day I was on the plane, um, leaving when we left out of Guam, I think. Leaving out of
Yeah,
Guam. The same day, same everything, man. I remember sitting on the plane and all the people who shipped out with me, like it was like a lot of seamen, maybe like 4 or 5 like people who worked close hand with him. Hey, senior, you heard about this? You heard about this? Man, it was probably like 10 or 12 of us, man. They was they was devastated,
yeah,
dude, about that, man, because they grew up in the Navy together, man. They first 3 years, for whatever, 2 3 years in the Navy, man, they was together, man. So they were coming to me, talking to me about it, man. It was pretty rough, man, on that flight, man. The whole flight wasn't nobody saying nothing. And, you know, at first we was like talking in them. We was in the airport in Guam. Everybody was together. We was talking. We was blah blah. Then we get on the plane. We hear that, man. And everything was like silent the rest of the time, man. Like everybody
yeah,
kind of like
man.
went their own separate ways and everything, man. It was pretty devastating for everybody who heard about this. And this and when you think about, this ain't just a sailor that you know that just came to the ship or anything like this. This is one where you do a pre-com, you meet early, you know, and you know all these sailors like in and out, like if they had issue, they didn't have issue, they good sailors, they not good sailors, where they need help at, what can we do to help them, qualification process, all type of things that's going on with these sailors. You kind of know them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You really, really, really know how they tick. You know how they function. Um, all type of stuff you know about these sailors now, man. You damn near you know they like they mom and dad's name and all type
yeah,
of stuff. You've been with them for so long, and then something like this happened, man. Like And I'm talking about from an outside coming in type guy. I'm not like direct chain of command at all. But think about the sailors. These sailors used to hang out together every night.
Yeah, man.
You know, probably went to their families' houses. You know how I know when I was young and I was, you know, a fireman. We went to each other's houses on trips and all type of stuff. You know what I mean? We did things like that. So I'm assuming some of these sailors did the same thing. And man, that's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, and a lot of times as leaders, man, you just kind of like at a loss, man. You know, because you took a loss too, and it's I mean it's looked upon for you like when Turner, you know, transitioned. The CO, you know, he got in front of the ship. This was probably the most packed all hands that I've seen, you know, but everybody was there, you know. But in a minute, like after he spoke, you know, he pretty much it's a time to grieve, you know. And people was crying, and I'm like just trying to find people that I'm not really I always say it, I'm not good at, you know, the emotional side of things as far as speaking and stuff, but I was just trying to find people to like hug and at least embrace, you know what I mean? So and it was people that I've never hugged or embraced before, like in that kind of way, you know. And I was like, man, I hope they not thinking this is weird or nothing. Like this is all hopefully just love right now, you know what I mean? So, but I was confused, like I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Crazy. And we had it like, man, it was actually before you got on board. I think we had another
I was there for
suicide.
that.
Yeah.
Well, that was a suicide. The other one wasn't.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a suicide.
Yeah. But the first thing that we had early on, it was a suicide.
Yeah, man.
And it's a lot that got to do, you know, with that, with as far as families and, you know, some stuff. I had a phone call, somebody called me when I was on duty, and they was making a complaint against a Keiko, man. And I'm like, man, like, how can you be a Keiko? I don't know what happened. I know the family got a whole probably, you know, got demands and things they want and certain issues, but I just don't know how I could be a Keiko and then be in a position to get. And I know it's probably not that hard to get a complaint against you, but I don't think it's that easy either. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a Keiko, because even me, as I didn't have any. First of all, I'm on the East Coast. She was from California. You know what I mean? So I don't even know how she got my number. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking like, yo, you know, but my first and foremost thing was to not make anything emotional, like emotionally harder than it already was for her.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I was trying to do was help any way that I could help. Right. So I'm like, all right, the most I could do is get you the information for this person's command, this Keiko's command. So I was able to get her the information for and I told her, I'm like, yo, I don't know how you got somehow, like in a good way, an easy kind of way. I'm like, I don't know how you got our number, but I'm gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, she was appreciative. I could tell she was heavily emotional. I got her the CMC for that command. I got her the CO for that command. Then I wound up bouncing back to the CMC and emailing them like, hey, bro, somebody, you know, making a complaint against your Keiko, who was actually an officer. And the Keiko was an officer. And I'm just letting you know, giving you the heads up. You know, and he asked me some questions about her, like some identified, but I'm like, I didn't get anything from her. You know, I just took everything that she gave me as far as questions and information, and I just bounced her over to you. So she probably gonna be reaching out to you or whatever.
Yeah. That's all you could do, man.
Yeah. And it helped. I could have been like, yo, I can't help you at all. Like it's really, like it really wasn't that like that. I really could, like a different person, different phone. You never know how that phone call goes.
Yeah, but of course that don't roll with us, man. We trying to help sailors all the time, so we don't even roll. We don't roll like
war
that,
fighters, man. So I do want to take a second to plug the merch. Like we got new merch up. We got some good stuff up too. If you need something, look on the site. If it's something you don't see, let us know. Message us. If it's something you don't like, you can let us know. Messages, or you could just not buy it. But if you like it, support. We definitely appreciate it, and we definitely will use it for a good cause. And that's ptsfmerch.biz. bigcartel.com. And that's always going to be in the episode notes.
Yeah, man. That couple people hit me up, man. Couple people already done purchased. Couple people, hit how the sizes look and all this. And I'm like, man, I'm not even. Hey, when he's talking to me about it, man, I'm not even really thinking about sizes and all that. I'm thinking about, man, you finna buy this, man. Let's go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
supporting the team, man. I kind of be feeling that type of stuff, man. Like people out there really, really out there supporting us, man. So keep it up, man. And everybody else, man, some good stuff out there. Damo is really putting in a lot of good work, man, out there putting this stuff out for people to come out there and purchase and support us, man. Like he said, it's gonna be for a good cause.
Yeah, man. I'm working on something, some merchandise item with a seller who's artistic from our last ship, a woman. So she putting together something for us. And when she does and we get it, I want us to be able to give all of the proceeds to homeless vets.
Oh yeah.
So I want this shirt. It's a shirt. I just said it, but I want it to sell out to homeless vets, and it's going to be an anniversary. It's going to kind of be like a commemoration of the anniversary. I don't want to make any money off this thing, so all we're going to do is spend money on it.
Yeah.
So y'all can buy some of our merch, so we can make some money back if you want. But we're going to spend money on it, and then we're going to give it away. Give all the money that we make away to homeless vets. So I mean,
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
that's good
man.
Stuff. Yeah, man. So first and foremost, also, man, we couldn't go by the episode of not saying congratulations to the new Chiefs, man. 6 or 7 weeks. We kind of awkward times right now, so we actually be doing like freaking 7 weeks. You know what I mean, instead of 6. But congratulations to those new Chiefs out there, man. And the build up, some of the sailors been waiting 5 and 6 and 7 years, and waiting their time out. And it's not a bad thing all the time, man. Like for people who don't know, the Navy has quotas, man, like quotas on how many Chiefs they gonna make, how many whatever they're gonna make. So what that mean is it takes some sailors a little bit longer than others to make it, sometimes about just how many they are making that year. I'm not saying you're not worthy, of being a chief, but the fact that there's a lot of quotas out there, it's some quotas that not enough sometimes. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can have like when I made it, it was like 26, but it was 80 some of us up for it. So that's 60 some, people that was eligible that year that didn't make it. And not saying they wasn't, capable or can do the job. It's just the way it goes. So for those sailors who didn't put on, keep pushing. Your time is coming. And then for the sailors who made it, man, congratulations. Now go out there and be the chief, man. Like it's a lot of responsibility. Yeah, you went 6 or 7 weeks and you went through all these tasks and all this stuff. But the real task is now, right? Taking care of sailors, not trying to know everything, but knowing where to find it, and standing in front of your sailors, leading your sailors, man, leading them. And one thing I always talk about is like when you are first class, you have the chief to lean on. If some get tough as the LPO, you can still go ask your chief. But guess what? Now you are the chief, right? So now you have to be the one that LPO lean on to get stuff done. So put yourself in the right positions, prepare yourself, be consistent, and be ready to rock and roll, man. It's your time now.
Yeah. The cool thing for me was seeing sellers that I know been like in that position you just talking about, like people that have been waiting for a couple years. I saw a few of them make it this year. Some of them I looked at their records, and some of them we like, yo, you should, we looking at this record, it looks, look good, maybe, you slide in soon. So some of them I saw make it, which I'm super proud of. And then I saw a lot of people from my first ship make it. A lot of people I came up with, and I'm still pretty connected with a lot of people from my first ship. So I saw a lot of them make it. Like as a matter of fact, hey, Chief Carpenter, shout out to Lamar Carpenter. You know, he was like the first person ever that I think we had a mentor as a junior seller. I had a mentor protege relationship with. He was the first person ever I looked at and was like, yo, I see something in him. I could kind of tell him some stuff that I went through, and it don't have to be as hard. It don't have to be as hard for him as it was for me. And then what he did that was great. He was the first. He wasn't the last, even on that ship. But what he did to me that was great was he took the ball and he ran with it. Like he took the blueprint. You know what I mean? He and and what we identify with is where we from, how we grew up and stuff like that. So he could have easily, you know, rebelled against that. Like, yo, who are you? You know what I mean? It's one of them like when you watch the old movies, the old blaxploitation movies or whatever, and the dude go back to like the neighborhood he grew up in, and he try to, you know, get the youngins straight, and the youngins don't want nothing to do with that. Like, like nah, like you know what I'm saying? Like nah, old timer. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it could have been, you know. And I was only an E5, but when you're an E5, and I had only been in the Navy for like 4 years or something at the time. But when you like that, when you got 4 years on one ship, you know, you like an OG to a junior seller that's just coming in at like an E1. So you are like an old timer. But he took it, he ran with it. So shout out to him. I mean, Deanna Mosley. It's a lot of y'all like that. I'm like, dang, man. Like I'm so happy to see y'all up in there. And I'm wearing that. I was actually able to go through the season and sponsor somebody that I always already respected from our last ship. You know what I'm saying? So that was a really good experience too. We had a good time.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Hey, big shouts out to everybody who's made it, that came off that Rafael Peralta, man. Every year seeing that we making 6 and 7 Chiefs is being made off the Rafael Peralta. So big shouts out to those guys, man. Go out there and do great things. We seen this coming a mile away, man. You guys been putting that work in for a long time, so it's finally paying off. So again, congratulations to all you guys.
Yeah. Holidays, man. They coming. Man. Holidays are upon us. It seemed like it was just last year we was recording a New Year's Eve episode that we never released, man. You know what I'm saying? Man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're here, man. We had Thursday was Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate it as that, but Friday, I don't know, we call it something, Black Friday or something, and then Christmas, that holiday, and then New Year's Eve. So they are upon us, man. Holiday leave, holiday stand down, the winter safety stand down. Everything is upon us.
Yeah, man, it's upon us, man. Also upon us today, man. Before I get too deep into this, man, my oldest daughter's birthday today, man. She's in Arkansas, man. You know, 19 years old, man. She started college, you know, this January, doing big things, man. So big shouts out to Kimari, man. Happy birthday, baby girl.
Happy birthday, Kimari. Happy birthday. Another big thing about holiday.
So yeah, man, the holidays is here, man. Let's talk about, you know what? Let me put this in perspective a little bit, man. Like, I remember when I was younger, man, when me and Ella first got married, man. Say we married, we got 3 younger kids, man. I remember like really like starting to like stress out about, you know, the holiday period, man. You know, and I say this, you know, because I want to reach some of the younger cats out there, man. And that I'm gonna tell you this: it's things out there that can help you when it comes to financial stuff and trying to do stuff with your kids. But I can't stress enough is don't try to overdo it, man. Like make realistic goals and things that you're trying to do, but it has to be realistic though, for you and your family on things you can do, because those holidays gonna last, and then they gonna go away, and then the real world gonna come back to you again. Right. So think about that ahead of time, man. But I do remember back in my younger days coming up, when the kids, we should give like a little list to the kids and tell them to give us this many things or whatever that they want. And man, you know how kids are, man. They bringing that heat, you know what I mean? You know, them gifts, man. So I tell you, man, we worked it out though, man. And things for us couldn't have worked out better. But I do know that you can put yourself in a financial strain trying to do everything and trying to, not even your immediate family, your family members back in your hometown. Like a lot of stuff can be going on, man. So make sure you're thinking financially also, because it can hurt you in the long run.
Yeah, man. I came to terms that if I ain't around, I ain't giving out gifts. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, family, if I ain't around, I'm not giving out gifts. You know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to know that.
When did you come up with that? Like,
Like
just
I came up with that as like a E2, man. When
oh,
I
just
knew,
like, hey, it ain't
yeah,
happening.
first
How about
shit,
the
yeah.
you got to send the mom some
If
always.
I ain't
Though.
around, I ain't giving out gifts. If I ain't around, I ain't giving out gifts, man. You know what I'm saying? If I'm physically around you, you gonna
Oh
get a
my
gift.
goodness, dude.
If I ain't around you, you're not getting a gift.
Oh
Man.
my goodness,
And
man.
now that I bought a house,
they can come see you now.
If I'm around you, you know what I'm saying? You might not get a gift, man. You know, you said it. I'm trying to be financially responsible.
Yeah, man. Gotta be financially responsible though.
Yeah, man.
That shit can
gift
hurt you for
giving
that shit
ain't
can put years on your life, man.
Yeah, that gift
trying to catch up.
I've given gifts throughout, the year. I mean, added people as authorized users on my credit, like real things. Yeah, authorized users. You just don't give them a credit card. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I got you. But
you add them as an authorized user. You don't give them a credit card to help them build that credit. You know what I'm saying? That's we in the 800 club over here, man.
Yeah, man.
We 800. We 800 club over here. So when you 800 club, that's like
you could do things like
part
that. Yeah,
of the
man.
Lifestyle. Right now, I'm not 800. To be honest, I kind of dipped out of 800. I said I'm outside the club, man. It's like I had to go somewhere. I'm like outside at the door. I'm coming back in.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I don't see me ever making that 800 club, man.
You'll be there. I don't know. You got kids. You got college.
You know what though? Right, you're right. Maybe when all the kids gone and it's just me and Ella solo, maybe I could try to reach.
You're gonna want to go on vacations, man. Charge that to the card, man. But yeah, I just like my mom, everybody, like throughout the year, if I see something, especially with like my nephews and stuff, if I see something and I think it's doable, I'm gonna do it. I just met my one nephew halfway on a laptop. He want to do YouTube. He want to be a YouTuber. So yeah, I asked him what he want. How could I help? Anything? He is like, honestly, I need a laptop. He's like, meet me halfway. I'm like, well, what's half? No. I told him that I was like, if you get half, I'll meet you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's half? He was like $100. I said, stop playing with me, man. What's half? yeah. What's half?
Yeah.
Not for no laptop. $100. Yeah, ain't no $100. So we wound up getting it. He wound up. I didn't even ask him if he got it. I wound up sending him the money when he said he had it. When he had it, half of it was he wanted $300. So I guess he was getting a $600 laptop. Yeah. And that's cool for me. These MacBook Pros like $4,000 or whatever.
Oh yeah, man.
So, yeah, that's cool. A 600 piece. Like you could get like 16 laptops with that, man. We straight, man. Shit. But I do. You talked about financial stress. I want to talk about some of the other stressors. And that's mental health stress. Yeah. And I was just recently looking up it's called a resource. So Defense Centers of Excellence. So dcoe.health.mil /24/7 tech help .aspx. It's a good resource. It got a lot of things on there about mental health throughout the holidays and just kind of resources and things that you could use. The only thing that I asked is for this site if we could get an alternative, like a non.mil alternative. Because I just tried to look it up on my computer and I can't even pull it up without the .mil. But I was able to see an article about it and a lot of the things that they provide. So it's definitely something, worth checking out, worth looking at, because these holidays can get stressful and a lot of people voluntarily transition. That's what, a lot of people starting to call it. Like a lot of people voluntarily transition around the holidays. You know what I'm saying? They do it around the holidays. A lot of people lonely. I've had holidays where I don't feel like I was personally lonely, but people might have thought. I had the 2 hot dog Thanksgiving before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the 2 hot dog. I thought it was I thought it was cool. But then my one of my mentors from old day, she commented. She was like, "Yo, you could have let me know that that's how your Thanksgiving was. I'd have done something for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, most definitely. On during that time period, man, is a time to give thanks and a time to like give back. That's how I look at it. Give thanks, give back type stuff. So we always try to invite people and people coming over and things like that, man, because you know I don't want to see nobody with the two hot dog things, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
two hot dog, the two hot dog
whoa.
things make me think also. You know what I mean? Especially because my first thought process, if I see someone with like, they not having a dinner or anything like that, the first thing I'm thinking is when they was at home with their families, what was they having? You know what I mean? When
Yeah,
they was at home before the Navy or last year, they went home and they had a whole big deal with their family. Now, this year, they're having two hot dogs, man. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think of it like
yeah.
that too. So your mentor that said something to you, I've probably been saying the same thing. Reached out anyway, to
And
see
that's,
what's
bro,
going on.
that's just and look, that's just the Navy aspect, bro. Like the other
Yeah.
aspect is the life aspect, right? The life, the civilian and stuff. And when you look at it, like a lot of the times the holidays bring out memories from people who you can't share them with anymore, right? So it's like
Yeah.
this your first Christmas without your mom, this your first Christmas without your grandma, so those memories start to come back, and then you get sad, like some of these holidays like Thanksgiving, like people lose the matriarch of their family, the one who used to always put together the dinner was at their house, everybody a step slower. Nobody ever really learned how to make the mac and cheese like grandma. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
crazy. Speaking of mac and cheese, though, this is like I feel like this is like the holiday, man, for mac and cheese, man. It's
Yeah,
like
me
when
too,
people,
man.
it's
Like,
like when people.
dude, let me tell you, dude, I got a story about this mac and cheese, man. And I'm gonna let my daughter listen to this afterwards, man, so she could be, know what I mean, know what I'm saying. So last year we cooked mac and cheese, man. Like I'm
Mhm.
talking about, man, bomb mac and cheese. Bomb. I'm talking about
Yeah,
killing the
I was
game mac and
there.
cheese.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
It was good.
So this year I told my daughter Tatiana, I said, "Hey, you got the mac and cheese this year," because I wanted to get some experience in the kitchen and doing stuff and be around me and Ella in the kitchen. And DJ
Yeah.
actually did like an Oreo cake, which actually came out pretty good, right?
Mm.
So we up in here mac and cheese, and she's getting her stuff together. And guess what she hit us with? All this now,
What?
I didn't bought everything for the mac and cheese, so she ain't have to. Everything is bought. Then all of a sudden, she started cooking this mac and cheese, and she break out a TikTok. She making my mac and cheese off a goddamn TikTok freaking thing, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what is this? What is you? We just made this mac and cheese. We know it's bomb. We know it's good. Now all of a sudden, you finna try a TikTok mac and cheese. Are you
Yeah.
freaking serious right now, man?
Did you let her live though? Did she make it on
Let her
TikTok?
live, man.
How did
Yeah,
it how
man.
was it?
Well,
Mm,
it came out pretty good, right? But at
okay.
the end of it, we like Ella, we added the Velveeta cheese across the top and all that type of stuff. She wasn't doing no Velveeta. She wasn't doing none of that type of stuff. So it ended up coming out pretty good though, real good.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, man, I was like, what in the hell is this?
Hey man, that's what they use. That's what they use for
Yeah,
everything
man,
nowadays.
that's
TikTok,
it.
man.
Yeah,
Speaking of TikTok, follow us on TikTok.
yeah, man.
PTSF podcast on TikTok, man.
Yeah,
We doing some
man.
stuff on TikTok.
I'll let your people, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, so we had a little TikTok macaroni and cheese, man.
It's
Came out
good.
pretty good though. Um before we get in any further though, man, I will we always do this thing about, the medal of honor or somebody who did something that's extraordinary, right?
Uh-huh.
And the person that I'm going to talk about today is Sergeant First Class Melvin Morris,
Okay.
right? So, of course, he was from Oklahoma, born in 1942. And what I'm going to read about today is about the Vietnam. He was in the Vietnam War.
Okay.
1969, September 17, 1969. But a year after that, he was awarded the cross. And it wasn't until 2014 when Obama actually gave him and several others the Medal of Honor.
He was
So
alive for that, wasn't he? He was there,
yeah,
wasn't
he's
he?
alive.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember
He
seeing him
actually
there.
retired um from the army in 1985. So yeah, he lived on, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me read this. Staff Sergeant Melvin Maury distinguished himself by an act of gallantry and intrepidity above and beyond the call of duty while serving commander of strike force drone from Company D, 5th Special Forces Group Airborne, 1st Special Forces, doing combat operation against an armed enemy in the vicinity of Chi Lang, Republic of Vietnam on September 17, 1969. On that afternoon, Staff Sergeant Morris' affiliated companies encountered an extensive enemy minefield and were subsequently engaged by a hostile force. Staff Sergeant Morris learned by radio that a fellow team commander has been killed near the enemy bunker, and the enemy reorganized his men into the effective assault posture before advancing forward and splitting off with 2 men to recover the team's commander's body. Observing the maneuver, the hostile force concentrated its fire on Staff Sergeant Morris' 3-man element and successfully wounded both men accompanying him. After assisting 2 wounded men back to his forces line, Staff Sergeant Morris charged forward into withering enemy fire with only his men suppressive fire as cover. While enemy machine gun emplacements continuously directed Strafling and fuselage against him, Staff Sergeant Morris destroyed the positions with hand grenades and continued his assault, ultimately eliminating 4 bunkers. Upon reaching a bunker nearest to the fallen team commander, Staff Sergeant Morris repulsed the enemy, retrieved his comrade, and began the arduous trek back to friendly lines. He was wounded 3 times as he struggled forward, but ultimately succeeded in returning his fallen comrades to a friendly position. Staff Sergeant Morris' extraordinary heroism and selflessness above and beyond the call of duty are in keeping with the highest tradition of military service, reflecting great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. So yeah, man, this guy, first off, is Vietnam, right? Right. A lot of things going on if you ever read anything about the Vietnam War over there,
Mhm.
right? And you have a woman comrade. And first off, with all that going on, your thought process now that's changed to wanting to go rescue your fallen comrades for one. He break off on his own 3-man team to go do this,
Yeah.
right? So that was like who's out there like thinking like that, right? That's why I'm saying when I talk about these awards and I talk about this stuff, I get so like passionate about it, man, is because you talking about somebody who broke off from his team, which he's probably comfortable with, right? Going through enemy fire, people are shooting at you, right? And you then broke off on a 3-man team to go rescue somebody. And it seemed to me it was a pretty decent distance away, the way I was
Yeah.
reading it just then. But he go out there. Not only do he rescue the body, he first bring his wounded comrades back, then go back out there and get the soldier that was out there as commander, and bring him back while taking on fire, while getting shot 3 times, and made it back. And like I said before, he eventually got the Medal of Honor and eventually retired from the military in 1985. Man, so big shots out to Mr. Morris, man, for doing his thing, man. Again, when you put on the line like that, man, what would you do?
Yeah. I mean, that just sounds like some stuff you see in the movies, man. And I know they
Yeah.
make movies about, military heroes, but I'm just looking at it again, man. It says Staff Sergeant Morris learned by radio that a fellow team commander had been killed near an enemy bunker, and he immediately reorganized his men into an effective assault posture
Mm-hmm.
before advancing forward and splitting off with 2 men to recover the team commander's body. So you immediately reorganize them into effective assault posture, and then you slide. We
Yeah.
out. We gonna go recover this body.
Yeah.
Observing the maneuver, the hostile force concentrated its fire on Staff Sergeant Morris's 3-man element and successfully wounded both men accompanying him, right? So they not now, since they reorganized these men into effective assault posture, they not worrying about them, like the hostile force. All right, let's look at these 3 men that we could, hit that kind of dipped off. And then they was able to successfully wound 2 of them. And like you said, he brought them 2 back and then went back out while kind of, suppressing enemy fire. Man, that's,
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I was watching a video of, I don't know if it was this actual thing, but it was one of the first ones ever recorded, the first Medal of Honors ever recorded. Looked as this reads, though. Just people just kind of like stepping up and doing big things in the time when they supposed to. You know what I'm saying? The time where it's one of them for me, it's like things like this is one of them things like, hey, if this person didn't do this, this person didn't take this action, like how many lives would have been lost?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the outcome is different without this one person. It's not like, a lot of times, and that's even when we're not even talking about these type of acts of heroism. Sometimes it's like that on a ship or with jobs, with your division or something like that, with something that happened, attacking a fire, something like that. Like, man. You remove this one person and it's a completely different outcome.
Completely, man. Completely. And big shouts out to the team though, for being able to get in that posture and being trained up and knowing what to do. Sometimes, man, that you take one head off the snake and then everything is done though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So big shouts out to everybody, man. That whole crew.
Yeah, team did their thing, man. Team did their thing, man. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the outliers. Shout out to the leaders. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
Hairstyle, man. Let's talk this thing, man. So, very recently, and if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see the picture. I'll make sure we have it to where you can see the picture if you never saw it. But on Facebook, right? Was it a football game or a baseball game?
Ooh, football game.
What football game?
It was a Monday night. Right? Oh, Monday night football game.
Monday night football, right? And they were doing the national anthem. I'm assuming that's what they were doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the seller saluted, right? Seller saluted. You got a seller next to a Marine, right? They saluted. And the seller looked like she had, and just by the posture, I didn't know, at first. As I look more now, I see like a longer nail, but the seller had dress blues on, and dreads, locks, and the locks were like down, like way past everything. You know what I'm saying? That they were supposed to be down past.
Yeah.
And this like put people into like a frenzy.
Rage.
Rage. Yeah, this put people into a frenzy on Facebook. Somebody actually hit me up about it, and my answer was, I'm gonna wait. And I don't always say that. I'm one of them people that sometimes don't like when people say that all the time. I'm gonna wait till we get some more information. Yeah, but that's what I said. I said I'm gonna wait. I mean, one of the reasons why I said I'm gonna wait, because I think we already know how I feel about like hairstyles and stuff like that already, about some of these things that I kind of don't think has anything to do with professionalism. But I was like, I'm gonna wait. And then what happened when we waited? Information was different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The information. But I mean, do you know about what happened when this picture first came out? Can you speak to that?
Well, only thing I can speak to, man, like I saw this firsthand, live. This is my reaction. This is a reaction that every probably had, just like I had it. I'm watching the game. The national anthem's going down. They come from right to left, and they show the Marine. They show her, and boom, boom. And I look back. I said, Ella, look at her hair. The first thing I said, ooh, look at her hair. You know what I mean? I said, It's not supposed to be way down there. Now, I could have jumped on the internet too. Did you guys see this? Oh, that shit was crazy. Boom, boom. But I'm like you. Look, man, this military thing been going on a long time, man. It has to be something. Ain't no way in the hell that somebody got their dreads hanging down their back like that without some type of reason, right? And I know some things do happen and some things are crazy or whatever, but man, we've been doing this stuff a long time, man. It has to be a reason, right? But that was my first reaction. And dude, time it looked at, I said, these are words coming out of my mouth as I'm talking to the Ella about her dress down her back. I said, oh man, let me look on Facebook right now.
And
dude, it ain't even
already?
5 minutes, dude. Ain't even 5 minutes in. The picture, like people was taking, dude, how you got your phone out that fast? People was taking pictures of their TV. So you know what? They probably went back and rewinded it. Now thinking about it, they probably rewinded it back to take a picture of it, and it was posting it on Facebook. Talk shit about it.
So was it only like one shot? Was it just one shot of like this, the way it looks right now?
The back shot, right?
Yeah,
that was a shot I saw. Yeah, that was the only shot I saw.
Yeah,
the whole time. They
like
didn't
I
show
said,
it
we gonna have it up. So like we gonna have it up. So
yeah,
like,
man.
It's gonna, like the people listening or watching gonna be able to see this picture that we talking about. So
so that was
only
my first
one
thoughts.
shot of this.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So like I said, man, I honestly did not have a thought. Like when I saw it, I was like, we just.
Well, I had a thought. I mean, of course, if it's way down. Yeah, when it was, did it look good? Yeah. But my whole thought was it being in the military that I knew it wasn't in regulation. So that was my first thought. I knew it wasn't correct. You know what I mean? But my second thought wasn't to go post it. My second thought wasn't to go talk to somebody else and go say this and say that. But I remember going into the office the next day also, and people was talking about it. Did you guys see that girl last night?
I didn't know it made that much like. So my first thought my first thought, because I didn't see the game, I didn't see anything. But my first thought that it wasn't. I didn't know it was a woman. So my first thought was it was a dude, and I'm like, man, he got that's a wild haircut for a dude. Like, you're not really supposed to be looking like Future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then the person I was talking to was like, no, I'm sure that it's a woman. I was like, all right. I was like, okay, I'll reserve what I think, see what other people kind of saying about it. And then story came out, like her chief came up. I got a cough. The story came out, her chief came up and he said, her hair tie came out right last minute.
Yeah.
And she not the kind of seller that actually, man, I wanted to reach out to her actually, but it's like she not even the kind of seller that would be happy with that being messed up in that forum and stuff like that. So because the chief was at the game too, right?
Yeah. And they always checking over their sailors and doing things like that too, man. So, and that's another thing I think about. Like, the chief is there at those games. I'm assuming it may be recruiting. I don't know what she was actually, her job was at the time, what she's doing, but regardless of the situation, you're gonna have some type of khakis there, or somebody gonna look at them sailors before they go out there, and Marines or whoever before they go out there. Somebody's always in charge of that team. So it wasn't even a thought process for me to get in here and get crazy about it. But I tell you what, man, there's some people on Facebook getting crazy, man. Like, and I'm gonna tell you who the main corporate, and I don't care. I'm gonna tell you who the main corporate. These damn retired motherfuckers, man. Oh my goodness, they be going in, dude. They be going ham, boy. Retired motherfucker. During my time, no, we wouldn't have had no shit like this happening. Blah, blah, blah. Man, come on, man.
One of them went in on us before, man, on the podcast, man. We had a retired dude go in on us. I would have kept what he said like available for people to see, but it was just distasteful. Like, I don't mind people having bad opinions, but his was kind of disrespectful to the LGBTQ community, and I ain't want to have it. I ain't want to leave it. It was one of the videos we made about Apple Music, Spotify, and stuff like that. Like when we lose downloads in like 30 days.
Yeah,
like when we can't listen to nothing in 30 days after being underway, and that's a real problem. Like, it's a legit issue, But he said something real distasteful, so I was like, all right, let me get rid of that. I don't want nobody to, if he would have just gave his opinion, it still would be around. But he kind of did some crazy stuff. But yeah, man, we gotta stop jumping out the window, for these kind of things. You know what I mean? Like, people just going crazy in the disarray. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop jumping out the window for these kind of things. And and I know people it probably was illuminated because she was at a football game, and it's probably like, God forbid you go to a football game and do this. You know what I'm saying? Like what's
Yeah.
a football game? You know, like
I know.
you
I
know,
mean, hey,
like God forbid
yeah.
you disrespect football.
Yeah.
But I mean, it probably was more like a
Yeah.
national TV televised kind
Oh
of thing,
yeah,
and
it was
people.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, so
Whole
people,
world looking at
yeah,
it.
and that's
Yeah, whole
and that's what I'm
world.
saying. It probably people was probably more so you got the whole world looking at you and you looking like but we supposed
Yeah.
to represent
Yeah.
whatever we supposed to represent. We supposed to do that 24/7. So the hairpin messed up, probably not enough time to pull her out. That's what happened, and that's what we got. But that's how people felt when that happened, man. It was
Yeah.
funny, and I didn't really keep up with it. Like I ain't read any comments, and I just wasn't that into this like thing right here.
Yeah.
But when I did read when it was more that came out, people was upset. It was a lot of like,
Yeah.
yo, in the Navy, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, man. The Navy, like on Facebook, we find a lot of reasons to argue with each other. like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We find like the EM page, somebody could be asking like it's some of those questions is like an easy question, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, where you find this part? You know what I'm saying? And they're like
Ooh.
they be like,
Ooh.
open the
Eh,
tech manual, asshole.
Yeah, go, dude. Same way on my page too, man. Same. Look, it's motherfuckers. Hey, motherfucker,
A
ask a
lot of be
question.
retired.
Yeah, motherfucker. Hey, motherfuckers that ask a damn question on our page, man, and they be like, "Who your chief?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but then sometimes the people who answer the questions go in too, though, man. Like to ask a simple ass
Oh yeah,
question,
no, yeah, they
man.
go back. Yeah, they go
And
back.
then they'll say some shit like, "No one in my chain of command knows." I'm like, oh my goodness.
I told you we
Lord.
had a seller, and she listens, so she gonna be listening to this. But she went to school, man. She went to she went to C school, one like a C school, and she was in Norfolk, and we were I want to say underway or something. I know we was on a ship, and she got in that EM page and was asking for the address of the school. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, it's on your order. Like, and me and Devo pissed. Like, why are you in the EM? And EM1 was like, why is she in the EM page? And it was like a just a panic. She was like panicked, like, hey, like, I don't know what to do. I'm out here, like I'm in Virginia. Does anybody have an address to the school? And it literally was in her orders. And then so what we did was we took it out her orders. Hey, I love you. I love you too, but I gotta talk. So we took it out her orders. We put it exactly from the orders in Google, right? Exactly. And when we did that, the schoolhouse literally came up, like the exact spot that she was supposed to go to, man. And we was tight, man. I was tight, yo. I'm like, yo, this is not right. Somebody thinking that she not set up for success. It's just so much. I was tight, man.
Yes,
it's funny now. But
I know probably who you talking about too. So.
Yeah, she know. Yeah, she know.
Yeah, man, that's funny though. That's funny.
She had us. Hey. She had us in there, like
rolling,
what is
right?
she
Rolling,
doing, man. In the EM page on Facebook, man. I'm like,
yes,
sir. Let's talk about something else that's not necessary. This Military Lives Matter T-shirt, man. Did you see it? That's if you watching.
No, I did see it. I didn't see it.
If you listening, it's gonna be pulled up on the podcast as well. You didn't see this Military Lives Matter T-shirt?
Hold up, I didn't see it, man.
Yeah, you need to pull it up, man.
Yeah, I'm finna pull it up right now.
Yeah, pull it up, man. Let me talk about this. And if you listening, you're gonna see this. Well, if you watch it on YouTube, you're gonna see this. But if you're listening and you haven't, seen it,
I see it.
Then go to YouTube, man. Watch the videos, man. Like listen to the pod and watch the videos, man. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, yeah. So you see it, right? The Military Lives Matter T-shirt.
Yep.
So, all right, let's talk about this for a minute. Jason Aldean, right? It's I think it's Aldean. It's probably Aldean or whatever. He's a country singer.
Yep.
And his wife Brittany, who I guess to be noted are openly conservative. I don't know why that's to be noted, but it's to be noted. They care a lot about the fact that they're conservative. And it says a portion of their proceeds are going to Special Forces Charitable Trust. So it's going somewhere for good cause. But I mean, who asked for this T-shirt and what does it mean, bro?
Yeah, what does it mean? That's my whole thing. What does it mean? Like did that come off the fact of when we was trying to pull out and people died and they came out with that shirt? I don't know.
So that was my thought. But when I'm looking at, so that was my thought. But when I'm looking at like other, like, so they got a whole line pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And they saying a portion of proceeds will be given to, SF Charitable Trust to help military families, the Special Forces Charitable Trust to help military families. But any shirt can do that. Like, it doesn't,
Yeah.
like the Military Lives Matter shirt. Like, I don't, are we at, like, I didn't think we were asking for this. Like,
No.
I
Me,
never.
yeah. I'm gonna say that, for somebody who got more information about this, please hit us up, man. Send us a message or something so we can be more educated on this. But I also look at it like they're rich, right? And they also need the for the tax purposes, you know what I mean? They could do whatever they want, do this to help them with their taxes and stuff too. The charitables that's giving money to this and that. So
They
I
got
don't
more
know.
clothes. They got more clothes though, yo. So
Yeah.
let me go through this a little bit. It says the goal of the line is to showcase their political views, and it features many right-leaning clothing items. So first off, like, my issue starts here, right? So the goal of the line is to showcase their political views, and it features many right-leaning clothing articles. So to say military lives matter, I'm not right or left, right? We talk about this all the time,
Yeah.
right? Um, I'm myself. But to say military lives matter means that, and you doing all this right leaning shit. In my opinion, now you trying to kind of, in my opinion, now you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to position the military as a whole as this conservative thought thing, and there's people in the military that's liberal. It's people in the military that's left, same thing. But it's people in the military that don't share the same thoughts as the Aldeans or Aldean, whatever, however you pronounce their name. I feel I need to figure it out. But however,
Yeah.
it's people in the military that do not share those thoughts. Like, and you're representing, in my opinion, it's misrepresentation, right? So I'm gonna go through another item of clothing of there, a couple more item. This clothing line is meant to represent our core conservative values. It's a reminder of how we all must stand up for our freedoms that have made this country so great. Your voice matters. God bless America, right? So they got another item that says unapologetically conservative. I got no issue. That's who you are. That's what you do. It's another item that says unsilent majority. I don't really know what that means. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I got two ideas for what it means. One idea for what it means, okay, cool, you do you. The other idea for what it means, I got a lot of issues with that, but I'm not going to, kind of think about the other idea for what it means. Another shirt, right? It says the line also includes a gray t-shirt that reads "We the People" in small print on the left side of the shoulder, with the back reading "This is our fucking country." You know what I'm saying? So again, like, some of these things, if they read what they say, then okay. But if they read what some people might feel like they
Yeah.
imply, or what some people might feel like it might incite,
Yeah.
then it's weird. And I think that was a lot of people issues with Trump. It wasn't as much, some people, again, I'm not saying how I feel about Donald Trump, but I think some people were more affected by what was implied and what was incited more than what he actually said. Because a lot of that just word to word stuff that he was saying, you could translate it in a few different ways. If somebody wanted to use it and, be motivated to do something like this, they could. If somebody just read it like, oh, he said this, they could. So she said, I want to say it's Aldean, man. Somebody need to correct me at this point. I hope somebody's like yelling at the podcast, like, it's Aldean, bastard. But it says, I personally don't give a damn if people don't agree with me. I think it's important now more than ever to stand for what you believe, even if it goes against the grain. Do your
Yeah.
research and form your own opinion. Speak out if you wish, but most importantly, don't bully people who feel differently than you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel all that, man, and we in the country that you could say what the fuck you want to say. I got that. I love all that good stuff, right? But when you use the military on top of that, my thing about the military is we can't go one way or the other. Whoever the president is, that's who we lean towards, regardless, man. You know what I mean? I know people got their own little way, own thinking or whatever, but the chief, is the president.
Yeah.
Right? He's the president. So we can't, now you using the military platform to try to make like military lives matter. What does that mean? I want to know, like, what is that meaning when we can't go left or right or no way? We got to follow the president,
whatever,
whoever
if
it is.
If it's a left president, we,
right. It don't matter.
But military lives matter would not exist if the Black Lives Matter thing was never taken, right? Yes. Nobody else would have thought of this. Like nobody else would have had the sauce. Like nobody else would have had the sauce to think of this slogan or whatever. So it's like a reactive slogan from because All Lives Matter was a defensive slogan. You know what I mean?
Blue Lives Matters was same way.
Defensive slogan. And some people feel free to disagree, right? But the Black Lives Matter came first, and then like all of these other, lives matter, things. Now we down the military, soon we
went down the pecking order, man. The whole order thing, like that was military.
It's gonna be at every soon we gonna be at house pets, man. Like
all dogs matter.
All dogs matter. Oh my god! We gotta find somewhere to stop at, man. We have to. Man. I thought the military lives would have been looped into the all lives. You know what I'm saying? Like what are they doing? And then I don't even know how they able to make these. I don't know. It's just weird, and I think it's time to get off of it, man.
Yeah. So man.
Another thing in the list of things that don't matter and that's really stupid. And I'm only talking about it because it's been circling, and I want us to be responsible so people don't think that it's from 2021. Again, though, that's another thing. If you're watching the podcast, I can't help but have a picture of this somewhere for you. Man, we damn near it's time to start a damn segment of just reaction videos, man. PTSF reacts to, but it says Thanksgiving photo from 2000. So. It's did you see the picture?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Hello.
Yeah, this thing is insane, man. If you watch
I ain't gotta look at it. I did see it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Hey man, that's some crazy shit, dude.
What was up, man? Do you have the picture up right now?
Hold up, let me see.
See if you can grab it, man.
Hold up. I don't have it up right now, but I know I saw it on Facebook yesterday. Oh my goodness.
This picture is insane.
But you know what? I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it either, though. I saw it. I'm like, what is this?
Pull it up. We're gonna spend some time on it real quick, man. We gotta talk about this, man. This thing is crazy, man. This thing is sick. So while you pulling it up, I'm gonna give some background feedback. Okay. If you got a problem, let me know. I can get it to you fast. But 2008, Persian Gulf, November 27th, 2008. Captain Robert Ireland, Commander Officer, Amphibious Assault Ship USS Iwo Jima, LHD-7, speaks to Marines and sailors before carving the turkey for the Thanksgiving dinner for Marines and sailors aboard Iwo Jima. The 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit and Iwo Jima Strike Group are deployed to U.S. Fifth Fleet area of responsibility. The person who took the photo, Corporal Patrick Johnson Campbell, and the date he took it. Like, what'd you take that for, man? What you doing, man? You knew that was wrong. Somebody had to know that was wrong. Where you at, Corporal? Did you listen to the podcast, man? What was up, man? Was that
man,
where
I ain't got the photo, man. I can't. Hold up.
You still don't have it?
Hold up. Let me see if that's it right here.
I
No,
have
that
it,
ain't
man.
it
I can send
either.
this thing to you, man.
Yeah, send it to me, man. 'Cause I sure can't find it.
Was that what was up in 2008, man?
2008, man. I saw that bitch. I was like, look, he got all these people dressed up like this, man. Who came up with that? Was that some diversity team came up with that shit?
It looks sick.
Oh my goodness, dude!
Like
I
hope it wasn't a diversity team. This is sick.
Oh
man.
my goodness, man!
Yeah,
That shit was crazy, man.
Yeah, if you watching it while I'm pulling this, if you listening to us, give me 1 second. I gotta send this video to Damon so he could pull it up. But it's basically
man.
if you don't have it pulled up and you listening to us, it's a commanding officer and he's sitting at a Thanksgiving dinner, right? And he got the baby. Somebody said he got the hands folded like Baby from Cash Money. Like they said he got the hands folded like he rubbing his hands like Baby from Cash Money. He got the pilgrim hat on, right? His uniform is creased pretty nice. But you got it, man?
You sent it to my email?
I sent it to your phone.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go from the left, man, because I don't want to.
Oh yeah.
Right, we got listeners, man.
This is crazy.
You got it,
man.
right?
Yeah. Oh my
right.
god.
So let's start from the left. The first person. It's a guy, right?
Yeah.
With the axe.
Yeah.
He got a pretty nice, like a nice linen, like I don't know what that is, but that looked like a nice vacay fit, man. Like that's a nice fit with the necklace coming out. And then I don't know what's happening behind him. He got like feathers coming out and his face is painted. And I don't know. I think he wanted to just wear the fit. But if you go next to him, the girl on the right, she looking at this captain. Like why the hell do I have this on?
Yeah.
You see her, man?
For real. Even not even her too though, man. Look at the one the to the right of him. She looking like she looking like what's going on too.
She looked devastated, man. She's like a pilgrim, right?
Yeah.
So he got the pilgrims and so just for context, right? It's 2 African American women, 2 black women. It looked like a black dude, and then that's a chief back there.
A chief back there. Come on, man, you leading that shit, huh? Leading that shit, huh, bro?
That's a chief, and then it's another dude with like face paint or whatever in the back.
Yeah.
And this dude in the back looked minimally clothed, like that's actually all of them don't look like they got like undershirts on under this, right? Even
but
the
actually,
women.
he dressed like the females in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The dude in the back dressed like the women. The chief, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna come with my khakis on. I ain't gonna really commit to the whole thing, but I'm gonna come with the khakis on." But like you said, you got the devastated girl. Then you got the dude that looked like the Wicked Witch of the West back there. You see him to the right of the girl that's devastated. This dude he looked like he don't want to be there. He got a wild thing going on. Then you got the girl that's like really happy to be there.
Oh, she's in it. She's in it to win it, man. She's like
happy.
Yeah, man. She's in it to win it. She excited to be dressed as a pilgrim. You know what I mean? Ready to eat that turkey or some shit. I don't know what's going on.
The turkey looks good, but like honestly, this picture is atrocious, man.
Yeah, man.
Like this what we was doing in 08. I was in the Navy in 08, man. This how y'all used to like. So that was like a year in. That's how y'all used to get down for Thanksgiving,
nah, man. We ain't get down like that Thanksgiving, man. No dressing up type shit. We might have had that turkey, but we wasn't dressing up as Indians and pilgrims and shit though.
That's not it, man.
This picture speaks volume though, man, for a lot of things though, man. Like when you look at it, the first thing that I put my eyes on it and I saw this, and I briefly saw it because I didn't spend that much time on it. Right.
Yeah.
I looked at it and first thing I'm like, what the fuck is this? right? Like, why would you post this picture like this? But I'm gonna tell you this, man. A lot of things. I don't know what the fuck was going on during this time, but you know what? 2021, we dragging everybody. Somebody found this picture.
Yeah, from 08, man.
Somebody found this picture and they, oh, what the fuck is this? Let me put this
that's
out there.
exactly what they said too. They said, as the holidays come around, let's be grateful and give thanks to those deployed away from their loved ones. Also, what in the actual fuck? Like, yo, what were we doing, man?
Ooh, man,
like for real, like what at that? Yo, dude, like I gotta go after that, man.
Man, we might find out who was on the ship in 08. Find out
this. It says somebody said I was a part of that crew on that deployment, and this picture is great. I hope everyone gets triggered because that's what happens these days. Oh, this dude tripping.
Oh, the way
this dude, I didn't even want to read that, man.
You what?
Somebody said, "Yeah, I'm a gunner's mate second class. This is weird as hell. I'm glad my CMC and officers were nothing like your inbred ass."
Oh, man, oh my god.
This is crazy. They going through it. Yeah, they going through it on here, man.
Yeah, I had to read that shit later, man. That shit, right? You know they finna go after each other on that one.
He said it's a great picture. It is. This is a great picture. This is a million words. It's not nothing I would ever approve and think was cool, but as a picture, a way to get people to talk, this is it.
Yeah, that's the only thing it's good for. Yeah, but if I would have saw this damn picture, man,
dude got an axe to cut a turkey.
Yeah, man, it came across my desk, and I would say, hell no.
And that's the reason I be submitting from certain holidays, man. You don't need an axe to cut a turkey, man. You ain't cut the turkey with an axe. But this was bad. This was weird. Really uncomfortable, real nasty looking, and I'm glad we are in 2021, right? Because this ain't 2021, right? And I was really, standing up for us, the Navy, in 2021 when a seller I know even posted it, and I'm like, hey, I heard that was the EWO back in 08. But 2021, this not us. I'm happy to say this not us, and I appreciate how far we've come. However, this was 08.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
this was 08. This was Obama's first year in office.
Yeah.
After 08, he was elected, like, right? This was 08, man. This wasn't like to like the 40s, or this is 08, man. Like it shouldn't have this shouldn't have happened then. Like
it ain't nothing good really that can come out from this photo, man. When you send this photo to me and say, whoever approved it, be like, hey, when I look at that picture, first thing I'm thinking about, you got to think about outside identities. Is this going outside the ship? It's going to go outside the ship sooner or later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like outside the lifelines, but.
Why'd they buy all that? I want us to find the girl. Yo, if anybody knows the girl in the front she's in the picture, she's on the left, but in real life, she was to the right of the CO. If anybody knows her, please find her. I would love to talk to her. We need to have a conversation.
We want to know what she was thinking.
I need to know what was going through her head,
her mind at that time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what's up with this PMKE, man?
Oh yeah, man, that PMKE, man. So check this out, man. I got a story behind this, man. Right. So if you guys are thinking or maybe not taking this stuff seriously and all that type of stuff. So one thing about commands, man, we put things out like months ahead of time, man. Normally things like this goes out months ahead of time, and normally the admin department is pretty good on getting that information out there. Everybody saying this need to be done, blah blah blah, right? So on one of my ships, man, to not name names, I had a good DC-1. He was good, man, real good. And it was his first time up for chief, and the whole time, I'm thinking like, hey man, you've been kicking some ass. You got a good evals, your qualifications okay or whatever, but it depends on, what happens, man. You got a good shot. I remember telling him, man, you got a good shot, of making chief. So maybe about 2 weeks from the due date, we get underway for like 2 weeks. So he didn't do that PMK. He did it on his phone on the way.
Yeah.
Right. So he did it on his phone on the way, but we pulled in. It was too late for it to download and go and him being good to go. So
yeah,
he didn't get that in. So they went ahead and let him took the exam and all that type of stuff. Which it was the first time I think we did it, for the Chiefs. So I think it was kind of like some stuff that we didn't really know, trying to figure it out. So we still let him take the exam and all that stuff, and came back and they weren't eligible, to put on Chief or whatever. And I remember like having that conversation, man. I remember how devastating it was for the sailor, talking to him, because he knew he had a shot. And then when you're going to another command next, and you probably got to work your way and get going and doing that too. So it was one of those things, man, where this PMKE at the end of the day, man, it falls on the sailor. The only thing that the chain of command can do is keep reiterating, keep saying it. You have to get it done. But this is something that you, on the sailor, has to be done. And for the Chiefs now, this year is November the 30th, man. You guys got 3 days left. So I hope
by the
it's
time you hear
already
this podcast, it's going to be tomorrow. You got tomorrow.
Yeah. So hopefully all this is already done and you're good to go. And we just talking in the wind right now. But I do know this happens. This stuff happens. It happens to me on my ship. So for all you new first classes that's taking it, I'm more talking to you guys. People who done it before, they kind of know, they kind of did it before. But all the new ones, your first time up for doing LDO or doing for the chief exam, is your first time and you taking it, remember, you got to do that PMKE, man, or you're going to be like one of those sad faces when it comes when results come out.
PMKE is like a thing that even the junior sellers struggle, with getting done now. To me, it's like it's kind of like the mediator, the mitigator, the equalizer, whatever word I could think about that kind of like separates, the lions from the lambs, man. Like it's pushing. I had a seller recently, like, hey, I didn't take the test for a second because I never got my PMKE done, and I'm kind of new. She's like, I didn't know that I had to do it until the last minute. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so now it's people. I say that to say, like, now it's people like just not eligible to take the exam because of PMKE. So that's helping out those numbers and those quotas and stuff like that for that exam period, that exam cycle. So yeah, that's like the great kind of, at this point, equalizers. Just make sure y'all do it, man.
Man.
At least let that decision be in your hands. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. It's time to talk about it.
Yeah, man. I know you're gonna do some reading on this. But we're talking about the CCDA guidance.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Let me see what this number is. 256/21 NAVADMIN. But also, man, I might bring up a little bit later. I might pull it up too. It's another one just dropped. 257 for testing for all unvaccinated.
Yeah.
Just dropped. But we'll talk about this.
What's up with it?
So
what's up with it?
So it's pretty much saying if you're unvaccinated, you're gonna be doing some weekly tests. Right. And then it's for like people who unvaccinated, people who got approved, or people in limbo right now waiting on a paperwork to come back to see if they exempt or not. But if they come into the facilities, they have to be tested. And I think it's like a weekly testing if they come into facilities like that. So that's just for unvaccinated people.
Now, is this about safety?
Yes.
All this is about safety, right?
Yeah.
Is it about safety or preparedness, or both?
I think more about safety, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is just me to you. This is me asking you, like, what you think? Like,
okay,
what I think about safety?
To be honest with you, man, it is about safety. And I think it's more about safety because of what's going on still, right? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. If you put in a position, a leadership position, and people are still dying from this, and right, but you still got people going in and out and in and out and in and out. You have to put something in place,
Okay,
right?
so I
Because
guess
huh?
no, I was gonna say I guess 257 then answers my question because my question was what's gonna happen to the people that get their exemptions approved?
Yeah, it answered it. Yeah, it answered in that one.
Okay, so that mean they're gonna have to take. Well, that would mean it is about safety, but
Yeah.
we still have people transitioning from COVID. So I lost a coworker this week. I don't want to say too much about it just for respect for the family. It's just a few days out, but I lost a coworker, civilian woman that sits in the office right next to my cubicle. So the office right next to my cubicle.
Yeah.
And she had been back, and she was just warming up to me actually, like um starting to just say, like, joke with me and things that I wouldn't even expect, you know what I'm saying, like say things to me, mess around with me and give me shit and do things like that I just didn't know that she would even do, because sometimes people just go in their cubes and just
Do their
be
job,
quiet.
do their thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so please, I'm not even gonna say her name, or just in respect for the privacy. But rest in peace, beautiful, beautiful woman. Rest in peace, beautiful, beautiful woman. And I know that the people in the office is gonna miss you.
Yeah. Hey man, this just for everybody that listening, man. Like, for some of us, including myself, haven't been hit hard with COVID. I have had COVID, family has had COVID and all that stuff, but I haven't been hit when it comes to somebody, transitioning or somebody passing away. But these numbers are going back up.
Yeah, they
You
talk
know what I
about another
mean?
variant.
Yeah, it's going back up. It ain't going nowhere. And I got it, man. Everybody got their own opinions and do their own research and do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, COVID ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Right. I think it's going to be here. It's going to be here for a long time. And I feel like it's our job or our due diligence to do everything that we can to prevent people from passing away or dying from it. Whatever that case may be, whatever you think it is, whatever you think you need to do. But I do think we need to do something. Right. So with the negative COVID test and all that stuff, I don't know. I really look at it in a couple of different ways. I look at it in one is that it ain't going nowhere, right? So we're gonna live with it, and people are just gonna die with it, and it's whatever. I mean, people can look at it like that, or we can take measures, man. And the measures are, getting vaccinated. The measures are right now anyway, getting vaccinated, getting negative COVID tests, and all that stuff. So I really don't have an opinion on which way, but I do want the world to know, man, it ain't going nowhere. Whatever opinion you have on it, COVID-19 ain't going nowhere. The only thing that's happening right now is you getting more variants.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just changing, mutating, whatever you want to say it. That's what's happening now.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
But back to this, one of the things I did want to address a little bit about it on this guidance though on NAVADMIN 25621. It did talk about if you refuse to take the vaccination, you can lose some of your privileges.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Right?
let me get into it.
Yeah. Okay,
Man.
go ahead,
Let me
man.
get into it. So the purpose of it, NAVADMIN provides guidance to commanders regarding naval service members who failed to obey a lawful order by refusing COVID-19 vaccine, right? And that was the first time that the lawful order part hit me. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time that I really, really realized what we talking about. We talking about failure to obey a lawful order. We're not talking about refusing a vaccine.
Yeah.
Refusing a vaccine is failure to obey a lawful. It is what the failure to obey the lawful order is. But the measures that we're taking is because you failed to obey a lawful order. We talked about this on episode that's probably not going to come out, but making it a lawful order kind of traps you into having to go through whatever remediation comes from not obeying it. You know what I'm saying? So it never was, like we said, it never was really an option, a choice. It never was like, hey, you just have your own beliefs and you don't want to get it. Stuff like that, and you got to get out, or you don't want to, like, it wasn't even like a volunteer to get out,
Yeah.
type thing. It's like, yo, you getting, separated. So fair to obey a lawful order. That's the first thing that hit me. I don't know if did it hit you the same?
Yeah.
Or?
That's where it really got real though. That
Yeah.
one statement, lawful order, everything got real right there. For everybody
Yeah.
in the military, anyway, you can try to postpone, you can try to do this, you can do that, but when that shit said lawful order, that kind of changes the whole dynamic of the game.
And it's like, we know it's mandatory. We knew that, but like I said, the lawful order just mean now I can hit you with shit after I tell you it's a lawful order. All right, so in order to ensure a fully vaccinated force, U.S. Navy policy is to process for separation all Navy service members who refuse the lawful order to receive COVID-19 vaccination and do not have an approved exemption. Specific administrative actions are directed. However, additional administrative actions and any punitive actions based solely on vaccine refusal continue to be withheld. So some people read that different than I read that. So I'm going to read it again. Specific administrative actions are directed herein. However, additional administrative actions and any punitive actions based solely on vaccine refusal continue to be withheld. So I didn't read that as you can't do anything right now. I read that as you can't do any additional administrative actions or punitive actions right now. But now it is another part in here that kind of made me question everything. You know what I'm saying? But that's the first part. Because I know some people I talked to, they was like, I read it, and the first thing stood out was that it says withhold any actions. But I only read withhold additional actions and withhold punitive actions. So I don't know if you read it that way as well.
No, I think when I was reading, I'm more looking at probably the second thing you about to talk about. Also,
yeah, it's coming up soon.
Yeah.
So it says the least favorable characterization of service members that refuse the vaccine without extenuating circumstances will be general under honorable conditions. A general discharge will, at the discretion of the Department of Veterans Affairs, result in the loss of eligibility for some VA benefits, such as the GI Bill, to include the transfer of the GI Bill benefits to dependents. Right?
That's huge, man, for me. That's big for me right there, man, because as you guys know, man, a lot of young sailors coming in the Navy, they do their 3-4 years, 5 years, whatever, come in, they get out, they use their GI Bill, they go to school, they do whatever they want to do in their life. If you do your 3, 4, 5 years and you have no GI Bill, no nothing to fall back on to go to school, and you can't give it to your kids, you can't give it to you whoever, I feel like that's a huge deal right there, man. I feel like I ain't gonna say handcuffing people to take the vaccination, because I think that's a little much to say. But you also made it harder for sailors to say no to the vaccination, which I know that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep every sailor. So I know that's the whole point of it. And to me, I think they really, really made a point by doing that. Because now, what do you get out of the Navy on? Say you did 5 years. What did you benefit by coming into the Navy and doing 5 years?
Yeah. I mean, at this point right now, where we are right now, it's too late to take your first shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Tomorrow is the
Yeah. So like you said, like for the 5 years, and then you spend like your first year paying on your GI Bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like you lose that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
These sellers, they joined, and we talked about it, but you joined and you put your hand up, you raised your hand, you said your oath, and you said you wanted to be in the military, maybe before a pandemic, before a virus, before this thing that you did not know and might not be comfortable with as far as the vaccine is. But now that it exists, if you don't want to take this vaccine, you gotta go, and you lose this and this.
Yeah.
The country that you so loved that you decided to dedicate your, you know, potentially could be your life to, you know, and however many, some people join the military and die for our country within a year of service. You know what I'm saying? Or make the ultimate sacrifice for the country within a year of service. So you
Yeah.
join this military out of, you know, either love or opportunity or whatever. But now if you don't want to take this vaccine, you got to go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So it says Navy service members with approved or pending COVID-19 vaccination exemption requests shall not be processed for separation or be subject to the other administrative actions, right, described in the NAVADMIN due to their lack of the vaccination. Navy service members who are not vaccinated, regardless of exemption status, may be temporarily reassigned with concurrence of the first flag officer and the administrative chain of command based on operational readiness and mission requirements. So you could reassign somebody that's not vaccinated. And that's even if they got an exemption request in, pretty much.
Yeah.
Navy service members whose COVID-19 vaccination exemption request is denied are required to receive the COVID-19 vaccine within 5 days of being notified of the denial. Navy service members who refuse the COVID-19 vaccine after expiration of the specific time to commence vaccination will be processed for separation and be subject to the other administrative actions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I hope y'all can hear that I'm sick. Navy service members who initiate vaccinations such that they cannot meet the deadline described or the applicable deadline established notify their chain of command as soon as possible. Right? So if you initiate it, but you know you're not going to be done by tomorrow, pretty much, you need to have your chain of command notified. And then it says, which it should go without saying, is that everybody need to be treated with dignity and respect.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's what I need right now. Something like
yeah, man. I tell you, man, that when it comes to the vaccination, man, it comes to all the sailors and everything that's going on, man, in the world today. Just have a plan, guys. If you decided to, like, I'm not taking it and I'm getting out, just have a plan, man. I mean, the Navy is not everybody, the military is not everybody a plan. But have some points to your whatever you're trying to do. Don't follow nobody else's lead. You know what I mean? And make sure it's you. This is what you want to do with your life. A lot of times we go out there and we see somebody else. We see an athlete. We see an actor. We see an actress. We see somebody doing something, and we think it's our life too. But guess what, man? A lot of those actors and actresses and all that, they probably millionaires too, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real with it, man. So make sure you're doing this for you. That's my whole biggest point about this. Whatever you do it for you. Don't do it for nobody else. Do it for what you believe
boo boo.
in. Yeah, man.
Commanders, continue to hold submission of administrative separation ADSEP cases are convening administrative separation boards until directed by the CCDA. So I remember when we were always talking about the CCDA, and this pretty much is the definition of that. We were trying to figure out what it was. This pretty much is what it is. It says final directions for submission of misconduct and ADSEP requests based solely on vaccine refusal are expected to be promulgated during the first week of December 2021. In preparation for submission, commanders shall prepare reports of misconduct. So that's the one I'm thinking, like, hold off until December. But I mean, that's not really far-fetched because it's November, like 28th is the last day. So that's just a couple days after that.
Yeah.
But it says this hold the submissions for admin separation until all of that first week of December 2021. That's when we're going to start promulgating and figuring out what's going on with the vaccine refusal. So that's not really that far into the future where action will be, taking place. So it's not really like a fake out. It's like, this is about to happen now. You know what I mean?
It's about to go down, man.
Commanders will notify those Navy service members refusing a vaccine who are executing funded or no-cost TAD orders for training or any other official purpose to halt their assigned activity and return to their command within 5 working days. You got 5 days, man. Bring your ass back here, man.
Yep.
Navy service members refusing the vaccine will continue their assigned duties pending adjudication of separation, processing, and other applicable administrative actions described within this NAVADMIN. Commander shall ensure appropriate risk mitigations remain in place to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And that's the part that's the part where I was like, are we worried about safety? That's the part I care about. Like, all right, make sure we put that in there. Like, appropriate risk mitigations. Because this ain't about only about doing what we got to do to the people that refuse. It's also about making sure we stay safe. If a Navy service member refusing a vaccine, including E5 and below, has a pending transfer, promotion, or advancement, then they got to submit additional information. Appropriate preemptive action is taken, right? So that's submitting that. Officers and enlisted fit reps, right?
Yeah.
So within 30 days, a naval service member refusing a vaccine, a reporting senior shall issue an adverse special fit rep. And that will document failure of the member to comply with IMR, individual medical readiness responsibilities, other facts as appropriate, including any additional misconduct associated to vaccine refusal.
Yeah, that probably just gonna be just a one-liner right there, probably.
Yeah, but then it says the adverse special fit rep will contain no greater than a 2.0 in Block 35, military bearing character, no greater than a 2.0 in Block 38, leadership. Block 42, promotion recommendation will be marked as significant problems. The following sentence must be the opening statement in Block 41. Member failed to maintain deployability or individual readiness standards by refusing the order to receive the COVID-19 vaccine.
Hey, man, you know what? When you read that, you know what I'm thinking right now, man? There are no shit leaving no stone unturned on this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going deep into the whole thing, man, which is good when everything is explained to people, though. Everything is like cut and dries right there in front of you. You kind of know what's coming, what's going to hit. So, I mean, I like that part of it. So, at least it's straightforward anyway.
Yeah, you don't got to translate anything. So, enlisted service members, same thing. 30 days, adverse eval, right? Same thing. To document the failure to comply, IMR. 2 date in Block 15 shall be 14 days after expiration date of the specified time to commence the vaccination. These reports should be submitted no earlier than the 2 date, right? So you got to wait the 14 days after that date that was on the NAVADMIN.
Yeah.
So E1 to E6 evals. The adverse special eval will contain no greater than a 2.0 in Block 36, military bearing character. No greater than a 2.0 in Block 39, leadership. Block 45, promotion rec, will be marked as SP, significant problems. And Block 47, retention, will be marked as not recommended. The following sentence must open statement 43. Member failed to maintain deployability. And same thing I said for the officers, right? Yep. A report without these marks in this statement will be rejected and returned for correction.
Yeah.
So, right? Hey, that wasn't there, man.
So when I write this eval, my LPO send that eval up to me, he better have the poem in there. He better have this NAVADMIN in there, highlighted, red and rock and roll, man. We check it. It seemed like a pretty straightforward eval, man. So yeah, man, they most definitely making sure that everything is checks and balances type stuff, man. Making sure everything is there that they need. And it's a reason, right? I think that's the biggest thing now. When they say that no lawful order, they're telling you now we are kicking you out, but this is the reason why we're kicking you out. You know, and what you just said, you can't deploy, right? Right. If you can't deploy and you in the Navy, man, that's one of the biggest things, man, being deployable, man. You got to be able to be deployable. If you're not deployable, I don't know. That seemed like a pretty big deal too. The lawful order, being deployable, those two right there. Then of course, you know, the GI Bill stuff. Those are three things that pretty hit me in this whole message.
Yeah, man. It says I got a sneaky suspicion, man. You got a different opinion about the vaccine, man.
I'm sure we do.
Yeah,
I'm sure we got but this is what the world need to know about this, though. It's a opinion. It's opinion.
Yeah.
Right? People.
I mean,
tell you right
I'm
now,
vaccinated. I got mine
I'm vaccinated too.
a long time ago, but
Yeah, but my thing is though, my thing with the
sometimes when I
vaccination.
see you smile, man, at certain things, like it's like an evil smile, man.
Yeah, man. Because you know why, man, and I'm gonna say it right here, right now, man. Because the reason why, even though I'm talking about the vaccination, and all that stuff, and the way I got smirks and I got this. The reason why I got that stuff, man, because look back at our episodes. I said this stuff. I said this was gonna be mandatory. I said all this a long time ago, man. Like I'm talking months, maybe a year ago, damn near. I said this was gonna end up being mandatory. So when I'm talking about the people, they talking about this, I'm like, man, in my mind, I'm thinking, man, I already knew this was happening. You know what I mean? That's why my smirks come from, though, because I do respect people's opinions and I do respect people beliefs and all that stuff. So my smirk more come from me saying, I said this before. I knew this was coming. You know?
Okay. So E7 to E9 evals. The adverse special eval will contain no greater than 2.0 on block 37. That's character. And no greater than 2.0 on block 33. That's deck plate leadership. Block 42 promotional recommendation will be marked as significant problems. So if you refuse to get a vaccine, your character will be graded at
Yes.
2.0.
Now I don't. Now that's not only your character, your deck plate leadership too. Come on, we built on that.
Yeah.
We built on deck plate leadership. We built on character.
But it's failure to obey an order, so your character.
I mean, I see. I mean, I'm feeling what you're saying, but
now, if you wrote your own eval, your character might be 5.0 if you didn't believe in the vaccine. Your own character, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's tricky, man. This whole thing, man. Ain't no one gonna fully get behind this whole thing with the vaccination, the whole thing, but I do think we need some guidance, and I think this is giving us guidance.
I mean, this is the most guidance, man, that we got for anything. I ain't gonna say that, but we getting good guidance for this, man. This like some of the most thorough guidance that I've seen for any program. For Seller 360, it was just just do it. It was do it.
Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do, just do something.
Just do it, man. EOS, right? I'm gonna talk about EOS a little bit later, maybe, depending on how long this podcast is. I might wait. But expanded operational stress control. Do it by January. Do it. Not even everybody that went to school for it. By January, this program need to be implemented. Get it done. But for this this COVID, this CCDA thing, let's get back into it. PCS, right? Now here we go. If you PCS, if you under PCS orders, this is going to cover every aspect of PCS in that. If you have not yet initiated your PCS, can't, right? Don't execute the order. And they give you, and this NAVADMIN, they give you exactly who to talk to, what links, what departments, where to get every page 13 from. Like everything you need is here. For Navy service members and our dependents who have already initiated PCS travel, detaching and gaining commands shall make every effort to contact those service members to advise them of the requirements of this message. The service members should contact their detailer directly, and each case will be evaluated by NPC on a case-by-case basis. Right? Commanders, contact your ISIC to discuss impacts on manning resulting from the PCS order execution guidance. Right? It tell the ISICs who to contact. Right? New Ascension sellers, right? New Ascension Navy service members in the Ascension training pipeline. That's RTC and ANC schools that refuse the vaccine. Immediately interrupt training, place them on an interrupted instruction status, II, and hold them at the current activity. Right? If you a new Ascension a service member who you got a pending exemption request, commanders will continue your session level training, including transfer between schools, but will not transfer them to your ultimate assignment until adjudication of your exemption request. right? So you still could do school. If you deny it, you can't do school.
Yeah.
If you got an exemption request, you still could do school. Bonus, special pays, and incentives. May not enter any new agreements for bonuses, special pays, and incentives, and any unearned portion, current bonuses, special pays, and incentives will be recouped in accordance with references. Gotta take it back.
Gotta get that back at you.
Examples include, but are not limited to, the following: career retention bonuses, enlistment bonuses, and incentive pays, such as flight pay. Bonuses, special pays, and incentive pays become unearned when a Navy service member refusing a vaccine is no longer performing duties for which they are receiving such a bonus, special pay, or incentive. So when they get removed from the assignment. So bonus, special pay, and incentive pays become unearned as: 1, removal from the assignment; 2, associated NEC, AQD, warfare qualification is removed; 3, separated. Right? For assignment or incentive pays, the Navy service member is removed from an assignment. The commander shall notify the office responsible for any special incentive pay of the change of assignment. And then it gives you the exact link to who you need to talk to, man. It's all there. All right. This one is kind of wordy. And that's the same thing for bonuses, right? Upon removal of assignment, commanders will ensure that page 13, specifically written for Navy service members refusing the vaccine, is completed and saved in the service member's electronic service record. And that page 13 is already written and ready for you to just grab it and print it. You don't even got to think about what you need to write for that. Right? Navy service members refusing a vaccine are not eligible to continue education opportunities. If you fail to complete a service obligation incurred for participating in Navy-funded full-time, part-time, or off-duty education programs, you'd be required to reimburse the cost of the education received, prorated for the obligated time served, right? So you got to pay that money back. Yep. Navy service members refusing the vaccine who incur a service obligation for an educational benefit, example, USNA, ROTC, post-grad school, health professional scholarship program, or in-resident professional PME, will have any unearned portion of that education benefit recouped if separated before completing the service obligation. Navy service members refusing the vaccine currently enrolled in such an education program will be disenrolled from that program as soon as feasible and held at that institution or command pending administrative separation. Right? TA, ineligible if you refuse the vaccine. Commanders must withdraw command approval for any TA courses not yet convened. Commanders will direct withdrawal from TA courses which will have convened and require proof of withdrawal. Which have convened and require proof of withdrawal. Navy service members will be responsible for reimbursing the Navy for the amount listed on the TA authorization voucher. Officers administratively separated prior to completing the statutory 2-year obligation for receipt of TA will incur debt. Skill Bridge. Not eligible to participate in the Skill Bridge program. Commanders will immediately remove Skill Bridge approval and recall Navy service members refusing the vaccine as indicated below. Navy service members... What's up?
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
Navy service members assigned to commands and CONUS will return to their permanent duty station at their own cost within 5 days of recall order. If the command is deployed or underway, seller will report to TPD in their home port. If you owe CONUS, you report to the nearest CONUS transient personnel detachment at your own cost, as directed by your command within 5 days of the recall order.
So I'm gonna say again, man, Skill Bridge ain't even been a thing for me. Like, for what? About 5 or 6 months or whatever. People been really talking about it a lot more, and they got Skill Bridge in there. Yeah, they not missing nothing. They're not missing nothing in this NAVADMIN, man.
Navy
was
cool.
That it? That was the end of it?
Navy cool, man. Not eligible for training. Navy cool. For funding for examination-related credentialing fees, commanders will withdraw approval of unexecuted vouchers and withhold future voucher approval for the Navy service member refusing the vaccine. Navy training, recouped. Re-enlistments and extensions, not eligible. Right? Extension agreement that is not yet operative, has not taken effect. Commanders must cancel these agreements to extend enlistments. Promotion and advancement. Refusing the vaccine. Navy service members refusing the vaccine who are in a FROC status should be defrocked as soon as feasible. Spot promoted officers refusing the vaccine should be replaced as soon as feasible. Once removed from the applicable spot promote billet, the command should contact the member's detailer and PERS 806 to remove the spot promotion. Commanders shall delay promotion of any officer refusing the vaccine. Enlisted advancement withhold. Commanders shall withhold the advancements of any enlisted member refusing the vaccine, to include preventing automatic time and rate advancements from E2 to E3, and advancement for any sailor in a frock status for pay grades E3 through E9. And then the last part is something that I want to read, because I feel like I should. It says community sponsor flag officers are authorized to make determinations within their communities regarding removal of warfare qualifications, additional qualification designations, Navy enlisted classifications, that's NEC, that's AQDs and NECs, and subspecialties for Navy service members refusing the vaccine. Any decision to remove warfare qualifications, AQDs, NECs, or subspecialties shall be consistent with current community policies and normal practices for Navy service members who do not maintain deployability or individual readiness through their own actions. These decisions, when based solely on refusing the vaccine, must be administrative in nature rather than punitive. So I did want to read that last part. I think a lot was said and not
a
said.
lot was
in
said
that
right
last
there,
part.
man. Yeah, it was. You taking NECs, man. You know, and one thing about the NECs, man, they help us in the civilian sector too. So I most definitely think that's a big deal too when you're talking about removing NECs, man.
But it's up to that flag officer's translation.
Yeah.
Well, we know how these. I don't know how this one's going to work, but we know how these NAVADMINs work, where we leave something up to somebody's imagination and translation.
Yep. Yeah, man. That's
right. And that's
yeah,
a report. That's a report that's a read of a NAVADMIN. Thank you for read along time with Damo. Another session of read along time with Damo.
Yeah.
Another NAVADMIN instruction.
Yeah. Big shouts out to Damo on that, man. That's a lot of reading, man. A lot of reading.
And I'm sick. I'm parched.
NAVADMIN.
I'm sick.
Yeah, man.
I keep coughing. My nose
but it's
is
very
stuffy.
But it was very important to get that out, though, man. I think Damo being sick and everything, man, it was very important.
Yeah, man. It's like
to get that information out, man, because it's a lot to be said in that NAVADMIN, and he like went through it really pretty quickly. So for everybody out there, make sure you guys do another read of it, man, because it's some little things in there, man, that interpret it different ways. So if you want to get some facts on it, make sure you're asking the right people, asking the right questions, which is in the NAVADMIN. It's telling you like everybody who to talk to, who to freaking do whatever to. And so if you want to find out exactly what somebody's talking about, you most definitely got the information in the NAVADMIN to hit them up.
Flu game, Damo. Flu game, baby. I did it while I'm sick, man.
Oh, flu.
Yeah, flu game, baby. Did it
your
while
flu
I'm
game
sick,
right there, man.
That's my flu game, man. So the PRT cycle next year, right?
Oh my god,
just one. Right?
So let me tell you. So I read this thing. Time it popped up on my screen at work, man. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Right. My first thing was because you know when you do, I did my PRT, and the first thing I'm thinking about, and everybody's thinking about, is the next year. Right? Am I gonna have to do this PRT the next cycle? Because you know, if you do it excellent above, I think excellent above, you don't have to do the next cycle. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? As I'm going into any PRT, I want to make sure I get to that mark, and I got it all highlighted on what I want to do to make sure I get to that mark. And then you drop a NAVADMIN on us and say, "Hey, pretty much this in a nutshell, this don't count. We're just gonna keep this in house, right?" And then we're gonna do one next year, from April to what they said.
That's what
April.
they said. That's what I don't understand. It's like they don't count, right? They just keep
it don't count. It don't count. Keep it in house. So all that paperwork for that cycle, they're gonna keep it
just on paper.
But it's
right?
Because PRIMS is not up.
Yeah,
the new PRIMS they got is not up, so it's not going in PRIMS.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So now I think what did it say from April? The next one, April to September or something.
April to September.
Yeah, that's the
But
next one. There's only one though. So,
but they want the data call for the planks. They do want the data call for the planks, but everything else just
yeah,
keep
and
it
I don't even know
on
how they're gonna get
paper.
that data unless they send it to them. I'm sure they may have said in there how they're gonna get it, right?
Yeah, they gave it away. I think they probably
Okay.
just said it. Matter of fact, when I look at the actually, I think I got the NAVADMIN pulled up.
Yeah.
I swear, man, if I got this NAVADMIN pulled up and y'all didn't give where we need to send that data to, man. Command selected will be required to submit command PFA plank scores for this data call.
What they say? Where they sending it though?
Yeah, it's in DON tracker. It's in Don
Okay.
tracker. It ain't happened yet. That's why. Promulgate data call for Act 2 commanders to submit a sample of the plank scores through Don tracker. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna give my opinion on this. So this is, my thoughts on this. They saying this because of COVID. They saying this because of PRIMS 2 and stuff like that for this. That's what we're saying. And it's not nothing that I'm like butthurt or like upset or nothing about. But my opinion on, and this NAVADMIN is 26421, right? So all right, let me give some more of this, like one of our old captains used to say, like brass tacks. Let me get some more of the brass tacks first, right? You remember him, the brass tacks captain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So cycle from April to September. No exemptions based on the 2021 PFA excellent or above. So no exemptions. So you got to do it, right? And then, however, COs, they can have local incentives if they want. But this is my opinion on this. I was in peak, physical kind of like performance shape or whatever, right? However we want to say that. I was in that at some point. So I did a PFA and I validated. So it took another year for me to do it. And everybody's not like this. So I'm not speaking to everybody. I'm speaking to, my experience. It took me another year to do a PFA. I didn't come back that next year better than I did the year I validated. I was worse. Yeah. So that year off, messed me up. And then I'm looking at sellers now. I'm looking at a lot of sellers now. Well, basically, let me make my point first because I don't want to drive to it. I think 2 PFAs a year keep people honest that might not be able to discipline themselves and keeping themselves honest. Vice doing 1 PA. And I know they don't say we going to, 1 PFA a year. We just doing 1 PFA this year. But it's so many people, khaki included, Chiefs included, that like really kind of wait until the last minute to even think about the 10-week notice, to even think about like physical fitness and exercise. And some commands not doing, command PT like they should, COVID and stuff like that too. That's the thing. And then some people doing like crash diets and like crazy things to lose weight. We talked about on this podcast. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to 1 PFA a year, but if that's even a thought, and somebody listening, and I know some people are going to be like, man, the PFA, I hate the PFA when it come around just like the next man, but I respect it. And just like the next person, but I respect the PFA and I understand why it's necessary. And I think it need to come around twice a year. I think it keeps us honest and keeps us, it's like PMS. I think it keeps us honest and keeps us in line twice a year, and that might be my more, I usually got some non-traditional thoughts. That might be my more traditional thought that people might not agree with. I think based off of my own personal experience that we need the PFA 2 times.
Yeah. And then I mean, I'm kind of with you on that too, though, the twice a year thing. But you could add some more incentives to it, though, besides removing one. You could add some more things out, more things that command can do 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever the case may be on how good somebody doing a PFA instead of taking the other one away. Now, when it first came out, I was all about it, though. I was like, oh, man, I can get validated. I can freaking not have to do another one. I was like, cool. You know what I mean? That's cool. But when I say cool, I'm thinking from a person like myself that was always working out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it didn't matter. I can wake up and do this PFA with no issues. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I'm talking from myself when I say that. But you're totally correct, man. Like 2 PFAs, two PRTs a year validates and help people too at the same time. Have them looking forward to something because you're right. Like you got a year, you ain't got to do it. motherfuckers ain't even thinking about it that much. But when you got two of them coming up, you kind of like, okay, I better start doing something here and there.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean? Get my body ready.
Yourself,
You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
The
So
validation thing happened for how many years? Like 3 years?
yeah, probably around that time frame. Yeah.
And then it's like it's kind of like
It's getting,
COVID
it's going. And
happened.
COVID happened. Now it's going like, man.
Yeah,
I hope
it
this
was
ain't
cool.
yeah, and I hope this ain't a thing though. But you know, one thing I always notice, man, we always experiment with a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think this right here is giving the Navy a chance to experiment with this once a year. I really do think this is something that we are thinking about. Any focus groups out there that's talked about this, holler at us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think this is something that we're really thinking about. We ain't just why we have to do it. You know what I mean? Why we got to do it next year one time? It's no reason for it at all, right? But this next year we're gonna do it. They trying to say it's about safety. It's about the PRIMS haven't came out. So what?
Yeah, that's kind
You
of
still
weird.
can keep it. You still
Yeah,
can
that's
keep the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And then the next year start.
Man, it just sound like I'm in there. Like some of the decisions we make now, it's just sound like I'm up in there, man. Hey, the PRIM's still, it's like, yo, the PRIM's still down. All right, well, just take a PRT away, man.
Yeah,
yo, let them just run once, man.
Yeah,
I love it
for real. Yeah. Hey, back to these focus groups though, man. Holla at your
Yeah.
people, man. You know what I mean? We always talk about these groups and shit, man. Like any of these groups out there, man, any subjects, anything. We haven't said this in a long time, but hey, I want to be a part of it, man. I want to have an opinion in there. I want to make sure the right people in there. You know what I mean? I just want to look around. You know what I'm saying? Who's in this office? Who's in this meeting, man? I'll let you, boy.
Hey, eNAVFIT. Let's talk eNAVFIT. eNAVFIT, a NAVADMIN came out about TMTF, Talent Management Task Force. Another task force, right? We got a lot of task force.
Yeah, man.
We got a lot of task forces. I'm not saying that they bad things. It's a lot of them, though. We got a lot of task forces. NAVADMIN 26721. So now we got the Talent Management Task Force to launch a series of eval transformation programs, right? Some initiatives. I ain't going to talk about them all, but eNAVFIT, right? Online and offline. So eNAVFIT is supposed to replace NAVFIT 98, right?
Yeah.
It should supposed to work online and offline. And NAVFIT 98 it's still like part of the floppy disk era, right? Some of our listeners don't even know what a floppy disk is.
Never seen it before. Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's access through BUPERS and MPC for support for drafting, routing, review, and submission. Reservists, they get it in December. Active duty get it early 2022, right? So that's eNAVFIT. Is the replacement to NAVFIT. I haven't seen it. I don't really know.
No.
I think I saw something, but I think I saw something a while ago, but I don't really know what it looked like. I can't really speak for it. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm the same way. I can't talk too much to it. But, hey, as more info come out about it, we'll be the first ones on here talking about it and how it looks, and might even show some pictures of it. Who knows?
Yeah. I definitely want to, midterm counseling though. I like this. I really like this about midterm counseling. I recently did midterm counseling, and I self-educated I did some self-education on some aspects of midterm counseling. So midterm counseling. So it says clarifies timely counselings, encourages coaching methods, introduces military individual development plan, which I think it just sounds cool. And then midterm performance checklist. I think the midterm performance checklist, me personally, I think it sounds cool because if you read the PERS, man, about evals, well, if you read the eval guidance, more so, if you read the eval guidance, the performance counseling chapter is chapter 18, and it does not really give you much clarity on how to do a counseling. It tell you supposed to use the form that's on NAVFIT. So you're supposed to use the eval form. You're supposed to fill out block 29, block 30, some other stuff, and then on your block 43, you're just supposed to put strengths and then areas of improvement, stuff like that. And then it tells you that you're not supposed to talk to the person about personal things. It should be all professional, work related kind of things. But it's a lot of room for improvement, in my opinion, in that midterm counseling process. Period.
Let me get my opinion on this, man. First off, I'm gonna say, for whoever came up with this NAVADMIN, I'm gonna say this: you guys been listening to the show, right? and you guys been trying to take some little pointers from us, right?
I
And I'm gonna
think so
say this,
too.
and I'm gonna say,
I think so too.
I'm gonna say this because we came out and we said we need more clarification on everything we do. It should be a checklist for everything, so it won't be no confusion on what you're looking for, what are you doing. We talked about this already, so whoever whoever made this NAVADMIN, can you guys give us a shout out? You know what I mean? Because this is stuff we've been talking about all the time, man. So big shots out whoever came up with it. But where you missed the mark at is giving us love, because you didn't do that. But other than that, hey, I like it. I like the midterm, and I'm like you, man. I love doing midterms, and believe it or not, when I do midterms, I educate myself too, because I be forgetting things I want to talk about. I be forgetting that. But with these midterms, you talking to individuals. So I'm gonna do research. I'm doing research on their rate. You know what I mean? I'm doing research on their job. I'm doing research on what they've been doing. I'm doing research on their last valuations. I'm doing all that. So I like getting into that stuff. And then when we put that date, when whoever my career counselor is for that, and they give me that date that I'm doing a midterm, I know a week or two ahead of time I need to do my research and do my homework on that sailor. So and with that, with doing that, you educate yourself too. And then luckily, the positive thing about it, in my division, I normally have 3 rates anyway. So I've been doing this for a while now. So I kind of know about the MR rate. I know about the HT rate. I know about the DC rate. It ain't like I got to do, a whole lot of other things. But yeah, man, I like that, man. I like they taking some of my pointers, man.
You're right, man. At this point, Big Navy has been taking a lot of the things that we talk about a lot of things on the podcast that eventually a year after, 6 months after, Navy rolling something out. I think somebody listening too, man. I think somebody. Hey, we appreciate everybody for listening, but I think it's a person that's listening that's taking these things from us. My Navy coaching, right, which is something I probably wouldn't have thought of, but my Navy coaching, build and sustain a coaching culture, right? And that, like, so from what I read about that, it's a lot of the elements of the a few of the elements of the EOSC, the expanded operational stress control. Again, a lot of these things, I got some repetitive concepts, and I hope that we are finding ways to bridge every gap and make everything kind of the same. But what I do want to do is like, what's a coach to you, Naaman? What do you consider a coach to be?
Well, if I was considering a coach, I'm thinking of whatever. So we playing a Navy game. So of course, somebody who's been doing it for a while, somebody who can tell someone how to play the game the right way, right? And how you can look at that. That can be from a standpoint of your job. That can be a standpoint from an admin standpoint. Whatever the case may be, making someone successful and giving them the right tools to be successful. I look at that as a coach, like somebody who's helping them along the way, mentor, something like that, helping them along.
So I don't look at a coach like that, right? I do look at a mentor like that. I got the definition of coach, and I know a lot of us. That's the reason why I asked you, because I know a lot of us have a certain viewpoint of what we think about a coach, and I think a lot of people look at a coach as like a general leader type personality that guides a person, right? Generically. Now, this definition I got about a coach, or what it means to be a coach is someone who trains a person or team of people in a particular sport. A coach is someone who gives people special teaching in a particular subject, especially in order to prepare them for an examination. So the reason why I said that, the reason why I want to say that is because my interpretation of what a coach is somebody who takes a specific scenario, specific goal that somebody wants to reach, and tells them how to reach it. So if you got a coach in any sport, for instance, the specific goal to reach game to game is the game. The specific goal to reach season is the championship. And then, like in football or any other, or most other sport, they got different types of coaches for whatever the goal that somebody want to reach is. A conditioning coach, an offensive coach, a defensive coach. So it's not like one overarching coach that's like the leader. it's a bunch of different coaches that coach you through whatever it is that you have at that moment. A life coach, right? So some people think that a life coach is, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody knows about life coaches, but some people think that a life coach is somebody that helps like their life, period. But from what I read about like life coaches is you give them a specific thing, like, hey, I want to be more such and such at work, or I want to do this or that, and they help you get to that specific thing.
Yeah.
Not they help you do everything or whatever like that. So that's why if you ever see, like, I know it's a bunch of people like Kevin Samuels, for instance. Kevin Samuels is locked into, when he talking to the women or the men that he talking to, figuring out what it is they need help with. Like, hey, that's the first thing you always got to get down with him. The first when he talk is, what is it that you need help with? What are you asking me for? And then they say it. He not just giving them like a blanketed like advice. So that's how I look at a coach, a little different.
Yeah.
Whereas you would have told this person your goal, and they would find a way to walk you to it or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean that's good. Hey, also with that being said, if anybody else got anything they want to add to the coaching standpoint, please hit us up, man. Send us a message. Give us some feedback on what your definition of coaching is.
Yeah, what do you consider a coach? Navy Command Leadership Assessment and Selection Program is another element of this new talent management task force, where we're going to do more fine tooth combing for leaders, right? And I'm gonna keep it at that. I'm not gonna read the whole description for that, but more fine tooth combing for leaders. And I always say I'm gonna keep something at something, but I don't see why I shouldn't kind of talk about it a little bit. So, Navy Command Leadership Assessment Selection Program, effort to create a more effective process to select future Navy leaders by including psychological assessments, cognitive aptitude tests, communication skills, personality attributes known to be associated with effective leadership into the leadership selection process. So that right there. So a bunch of civilian leadership sector.
Yeah.
A bunch of traits that we got from a John Maxwell book.
Yeah.
That might not translate to like being on a ship. Nah, I'm just joking.
Yeah. No, nothing. Yeah. I mean,
I'm kind of joking, but I've read so many leadership books, and I'm like, hey man, like this ain't. I'm not gonna be able to like ever like kind of like bring this to like my mentality on the ship. Like it don't work.
know,
We're
right?
a little too dynamic. Like
So,
like it's too.
we're
You
trying to get
gotta
shit.
read. Like
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, man. Do the politics of the eval system serve the greater good? Do the politics? Well, no. Let me make this point before I ask you that question. We talking all this addition and eval stuff, right? But it's
Yeah.
like, yo, when we gonna get an eval wizard app? Like, it's apps where you could like plug in like specific information, and you could have a copyright request, or you could have a business plan. You just plug in like certain stuff.
Yeah.
When we gonna get like something where it's like, seller's name, seller's job, rate, what did the seller do? Boom, boom, boom. How did it affect the ship? Boom, boom, boom. How did it affect the Navy? Boom, boom, boom. And then like after you plug in all this information into the database, actual 18 line like eval is written up, worded the way that the eval should be worded, vice us having to go to that same website and book every year and try to like get like new kind of like sauce from this eval thing. I think a wizard would be cool, man. Like a little eval wizard, man.
I mean, cool, easier. I mean, that's what we're about, right? Working smarter, not harder. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with all that you just said, tell you the
For
truth.
real?
But
That's crazy.
yeah,
I ain't know. Yeah.
I was
think, like,
standardized,
like,
man. Trust me, player. I agree with you totally.
like, yo, just let me just write this stuff and you make it an eval. Like
easy day, because that's where that's where I get frustrated from, man. I get frustrated with the politics in evals and stuff like that, man, because the way they are worded if everything is you put in there and it's worded a certain way, you know the points you need to touch on when you looking at someone's record, right? Not looking at flowery fucking words, you know what I mean, to make the Superman of the freaking whatever. I don't care about that stuff. I care about the things that you're getting done, the things you're accomplishing for your command, for the Navy, for things like that. Like, so when we always write it, we always talk about what did they do and how did it, affect everything else, or whatever the case may be. That's kind of how we do things, right? So, the politics side of it, man, is when you get in a room, even when it comes to ranking boards.
Go
ahead.
Before politics, though, I do want to say that like an app like that would equalize. I don't know if you still talk about the app because I hear you saying the word politics, but I think it would equalize the bad eval writers to the good eval writers. Like, no, it wouldn't have to be, because if you're a shitty eval writer,
it can fuck your career up.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's where you was about to go, but
that's exactly where I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Like, it messes, and trust me when I tell you this, man. Everybody doesn't write the same. You can come up with like me. I'm not a great eval writer, but I'm okay, right? So what I do is, I look at other eval, look at my previous, look at other people previous, and whatever, and come up with some stuff that I think over time that I think will help someone get to where they need to go. But with that being said, man, we have not done our due diligence when it comes to if this sailor is better than that sailor for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're still to this day in 2021 stuck on this is my sailor.
Yeah. Well, that's the ranking boards and stuff. Right?
The ranking boards and whatever the case may be, man. Yeah. Even when you put the human element in it, man, you put the human element in it. You know what I mean? Like,
because a 4.0 and a 5.0, like sometimes the stuff that's at the 2.0, like
it's probably written better than
like meet like how people really are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
now you ever wrote an eval, like just speaking on eval writing, you ever wrote an eval and then like you pass it up to maybe like your top snipe, your department head or whatever, and then they give it like, they give it back like, I cleaned it up a little bit, and then you see it and you like, like it, like you you worse than me. Like,
and that's how I'm reading it. But look, my department head do the same thing. My department head I got now, he listened to this too, so he probably gonna hear it. And my only response to when he said like the wordy stuff, like little wordy stuff that he says, my whole thing is like, that's how you write.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how you write things, right? And this is how like I write things now. Now using words like was and where, I give you that. Okay, I messed that up. I got it right. But like some of the stuff that you want to change, you want to do, that's how you get down.
Yeah. And that's where the app would, like
I clear all that up.
I recently wrote like I wrote something like it saved the Navy like 89,600, and I did like all the calculation and all that, and I passed it up to Warren. Much love, respect for Warren. Warren took that thing out. He was like,
I care about that.
Because I had to take that out. I'm like, this 89,000, like we saved the Navy. He was like, I had to take that one out. I'm like, why'd you take the 89,000? It was just, one of them. But those things. But in other cases, I've had evals come back, and I'm like, I would have never wrote this on here. You know what I'm saying? And like in some other cases, now we do get to we've been going for a minute, but now we do get to my question is, do the politics of the eval system serve the greater good? I have foundation for that question. But my question is, do you think that it's politics when it comes to the eval? We talked about evals before, so we don't got to really talk about this too long. But do you think it's politics when it comes to evals?
I really don't know if it's politics when it comes. It depends on what part of the evaluation we talking about.
So, and rate, ranking when it comes to
ranking,
specifically ranking.
I think the politics comes into it when it comes to somebody who already has the EP.
Yeah, that's the politics I'm talking about.
That's where I think if you it I
Do you
think
think they
though,
serve the
I think
greater
it's
good?
politics. No, I don't. I
Ooh, we
don't think
disagree.
it serves the greater good, but we have built in that it does, and it's built in, right? If somebody outperform you, you get outperformed, right? That's my thing. If you get outperformed, you get outperformed. But our board selections and all that says something different. It says you drop from this to that, it needs to be a reason in there, right? A reason why that sailor dropped. So the politics to me is, guess what? This cycle, this year, they got outperformed,
All right. So
right?
how do you take care of the seller that has already exceeded every, you know, slot that they had to exceed?
Yeah, I mean, and that's where it get tricky. Now, it's no like I'm
That's the
saying this.
greater good, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
in
mean,
my opinion, somebody else might be listening and
yeah.
not think that that's the
Now
greater good.
I'm saying this on top of not saying is bad or good. What I'm saying is though, in a situation like this, some people do get outperformed for that year. But you are correct though when it comes to nothing else for them to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
What else can they
So
do
you
to
you
yeah.
you got two sellers. You got one
Yeah.
steamrolling through the command to get to where this other one is.
Yeah.
You know, so who's getting it? Who's number one? The
Yeah.
steamroller or the one that's there that
Been there.
just sitting like a
But
fat cat?
yeah, I mean, yeah, man, that's tough. I mean, it kind of got me tongue tied now because you are right though, man. When you have done everything, you still sustain, you know what I'm saying, superior performance.
Yeah,
So it ain't like you dropping off. It's pretty much nothing else you could do
right.
to get stuff done. So I kind of see that too, man. I can't. I have to go with the greater good because you start dropping those sailors, their career's done. I mean, that's period. That's what it is right now, anyway.
Should people get transferred after they get a number one EP?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. It happened. It tried to happen to me though, and it almost happened to me. Tell you the truth. So let me give you an example, man. I'm trying. I ain't really calling nobody out. They probably don't listen anyway. But I was at a command where I went from the P to number one EP, right?
Uh-huh.
Number one. So I was transferring in November, right?
Yeah.
So the evals September came around, and he called me into the office to tell me he will transfer me earlier, so somebody else can have the number one EP.
Yeah, but that was your number. That would have been two number one EPs
Yeah,
straight.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah. So he asked me that, and I told him, like, you know, not to because I wanted to get some guidance on this. You know what I mean? Because one thought I'm thinking about, okay, I'm gonna leave early. You know what I mean? And I was ready to go back to ship, so kind of like, you know, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So at the same time, let me talk to some people, see if this career thing is worth, you know what I mean, like career
Yeah. If it's
wise.
worth for the career.
And man, everybody who I talk to, man, that's the worst. If you do that, that's the worst idea you can ever do, man. That's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do your time, get your evals, and move on, man. Like
Yeah.
that's it is what it is. So I never got good advice about that whole situation, man. So I came back and went in his office and told him, nope, I want to stay. I mean, I said it, you know, tactfully and all that stuff, but I was like, no, I'm gonna stay, you know, my time for, you know, here, and then I'm gonna leave when I'm supposed to. And he didn't rebuttal to it or get mad about it. He just said, okay, and then we moved on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it almost happened though, man. Like he said, he called me and personally asked me to leave early. So
Yeah.
I'm not a
I mean,
fan
I
of.
understand I understand. I ain't gonna say I agree with it, but I understand what they were trying to do, trying to
Yeah,
spread that, trying to
yeah,
move that stuff, spread that wealth, and
yeah.
some risk of stuff probably
But
going on there.
you know what? My whole thing was that personal though. That's what you don't never know though. Is that a personal thing? Or that coming from the CO down? Which I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think so. You know what I mean? I think it was a personal thing, man. And then not to say nothing too crazy, but he was an SEL,
okay.
and the number two guy was his rate.
Oh yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. It's a little yeah. You talking
Yeah,
about something different now. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
We
I'm just
talking about
that's my opinion. I don't know. I'm just saying.
yeah. We talk about something different. All right. So what's this consistent leader? You want to get into that now, or you want to wait till
Well,
next
no, I'm
week?
gonna wait on that one, man. We've been going for a while, so we'll hit that up. Talk about that the next one, man. I'd like to get into this.
This
To
what
what
I want to
want
say before you.
Go ahead, man.
Before you got something for real? You got something else?
No.
Oh yeah. So all right, yeah. So let me get. So before you get into that, let me say this: expanded operational stress control due January. Team leads, where y'all at? You know where y'all at? Team leads. I'm
Let's
a team
go.
lead too. So we need to have some conversations about how we're gonna implement these programs. I'm not gonna sit here and act like mine is perfectly implemented or implemented at all. You know what I'm saying? We've been working it, and we got a, I got a EIS lead and stuff like that. So we working it. We trying to get everything, done by January. My quick question for the EOSC people is why would we set a hard date on something that we didn't even get everybody in school to do? That's my real thing. Is we already know that it's a lot of people that's not like haven't went. Like I could count on one hand how many people in my region has gotten this training. And I mean, that's between leads and team leads. And it's 2 of us that got it. You know what I'm saying? So that's already, you could take 2 away. You got 3 left. I'm saying I could count on one hand and not every finger. You know what I mean? So why would we set a hard date on something that we still figuring out? The next part is we got programs that's powered from EOSC that don't work with flank speed. Like we got to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? But like, why would we ever set a hard date on something that we haven't figured out? You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's my biggest part about this. So EOSC, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to actually probably talk about it and all the elements of it because I think it's a good program next week because it's due January.
Yeah.
But
and flank speed ain't doing shit either. Flank speed all jacked up.
Right. But I think it's pretty harsh, and it's something that we've done. Like we've been, like I said, with 360, it's like, yo, just go do it. like whatever it is, just do it. EOS, January, like come on, and they give you a lot of material, but it's like you got to inculcate, which means kind of inject into the culture of your command a whole program, a new way of Navy living. You got a lead and a team lead that has to do all this by January, when we know people ain't start going to school till like October and the classes ain't really full yet.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all I got for that.
Yeah, man. Man, let's get into this movie, man.
Yeah. And this is first. I mean? This is a first for us. This the first.
It's a first. It's a first, man. We're gonna talk about a movie that we don't normally talk about. You guys know we always hit the military movies and things like that. Mm-hmm. But today we're gonna give you guys a quick review on King Richard.
Yeah.
Right? A Will Smith movie. About, Venus and Serena's dad, mostly about him and how he got down and how he was doing the things that he did to make sure his daughters were successful. Not just Venus and Serena, like all his daughters. You know what I mean? All of them. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. So I'm gonna kick it off with my review, man. My review is not necessarily on Will Smith performance or anybody in the movie performances. My whole thing, my first take is it's an inspirational ass movie.
Yeah.
Right. I remember bringing my son. I watch it and I bring my son in because I feel like that's kind of how I am sometimes, man. I want my son, like, especially when it comes to sports and stuff, to be competitive and to have that drive, to be great or to be good or whatever. So I remember bringing him in, like, hey, look at this, look at that, how, in the rain, in the whatever time it is, they was working, trying to get better, trying to be, be at top peak performance for their dad or for themselves or whoever it was for. But the plan that King Richard had in place You know what I mean? Before it even happens, that was more inspirational for me as a dad. Like, this dude had a plan. When I say I'm not bullshit when I'm talking about, okay, I want my son to play basketball. No, I'm talking about on this day we're gonna do this, on that day, on this month, and he had it broken down, spreadsheets and everything about, you know, on what he was gonna do and what he was gonna accomplish. Even the interviews with people he was doing, he like knew all that stuff was coming. You know what I mean? And it was crazy, man, how he set it up, on how he went talk to certain people, and he pretty much, in a way, in the movie, you look at the movie, he bullied his way into some of those situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, some of those situations, he was like, "Oh, stop! You finna watch my kids. You finna watch them. I mean, watch them hit the ball or watch them do this." And it paid off, man. It's paid off. So it was an inspirational movie. I think Will Smith did a good job with the movie. But the movie was bigger than just his performance. You know what I mean? To me, the movie was bigger than the actors in it. It was just a whole inspirational piece of the movie that got me.
Yeah. For me, well, let me start out right. Ronaldo Marcus Green directed it. Zach Balin wrote it. Will Smith stars as Richard Williams. Anjanae Ellis is his wife. Brandy.
A good role too.
My boy John Bernthal from The Punisher, man.
Yeah.
He did his thing again.
Yeah.
Sanaya Sidney was Venus, and Demi Singleton was Serena Williams. Like I said, I really like John Bernthal in this. Like, it was different for him. I'm used to seeing him like crackheads and like do things like that, but watching him do this was a little different. First part I'll say is this: like, we always talk about me and Will Smith, and people think that, like, if you listen to the podcast enough, you know that it's like this thought that I just hate Will Smith. That's not true. I just think that Will Smith in recent time has made more bad movies than good. I will file this under a good, like, for instance, like Bright, or you want me to name every Spies in Disguise? Want me to just go through every horrible Will Smith movie? Or
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
No, I heard enough of those.
Okay, After Earth. All right, that's it. But what I will say is King Richard is not one of those. It's a good movie. Real good. I knew he was going to do good in like one of the very opening scenes. Like, it was like a fight scene, and the way he got up, like how awkwardly and uncomfortable. Like, it was a good thing that happened right there. So Will Smith was amazing, and I liked him. I don't think he's going to win an Oscar for this. I think he was amazing. I don't think he deserves an Oscar for this role. With a DiCaprio movie and a Denzel movie come in, and I know they're going to do some crazy stuff in these movies. However, I think if I wouldn't be surprised, because let me say it right, I wouldn't be surprised if Will Smith won an Oscar this year for this role, due to politics and stuff like that. Same way we talk about some things that got to do with evals, the same thing that got to do with Oscars and stuff like that. So I can see him. I wouldn't be surprised if he won. I don't think this is going to be the best role of the year. Now, what I want to talk about is Richard Williams, though, because to me, I was intrigued by him. You know what I'm saying? Not Will or anything. I was intrigued by Richard Williams. And he, like you said, he had the plan pretty much before his daughters were born, on like spreadsheets, pamphlets, like, you know, and he followed it. And that was just big inspiration to, like, oh, just write it down, plan it. How we always say, write it down, plan it, dream it, think it,
execute it,
make it happen, and execute it, and do it. The second part, you know, because like I said, if you listen to us, you know, we almost at the 3 hour mark. But the second part for that, for me, is the fact that he would not let people give negative projections to his daughters. When one of his daughters was on an interview, and, you know, they try to ask him, and this is real, this not like, you know, this actually happened, we saw it, but they try to ask her, they try to make her feel like she shouldn't be as confident as she was about winning the match. And he's like, hey, stop, don't do that. You know, you talking to a girl. He said, you talking to a young black girl, but he said, you talking to a girl, you talking to a child. Like, what are you doing? Just projecting like thoughts of failure into this kid, like, that they don't need to have, you know? Me personally, I'm at a point now where I think we only fail based off of how we receive other people's projections and what we project upon ourselves. I think we could do anything we want beyond measure. If we believe that we can do it, and we not only believe that we can do it, we take steps to execute. I don't think it's anything anybody can't do. You know what I'm saying? And that movie reinforced, my thought there, my idea on there. I mean, a while ago I thought, well, Will Smith can't make a good movie, but it looked like he wrote down some stuff and he reinforced that stuff, and he has a good movie now. You know what I'm saying?
You think he looked at the pod? Got some of your.
He probably looked at a lot of pods, because I ain't the only person that that think that. But at this point, I remember being like probably the outlier when he played in 7 Pounds, which was a decent movie. And I was telling, but he played in Hitch the same year, and I was telling somebody, I was like, "This ain't good, man." He played the same role in 2 movies, man. Hitch, if you look back and you watch Hitch in 7 Pounds, that's the same role. I was like, he played the same role, and then somebody was like, "Well, 7 Pounds is good," and I was like, he got out acted by everybody in the movie. I think Ted Danson was in there out acting him. Rosario Dawson. I don't want to get to, because Will Smith praised. Will Smith did great in this movie. He's going to be nominated for an Oscar. He has a strong chance of winning an Oscar. He did incredible in this movie. This is what I want to see from Will Smith. My brother said he's one of the better actors to portray like real people. He said he did great in Ali. I didn't really watch Ali into where I can remember it. I remember some of Jamie Foxx, and I didn't watch Pursuit of Happiness either, to be honest. I never was watching the movies that I think Will Smith was only playing in to try to win an Oscar. But this one was really good. I liked it a lot. It makes me want to go and finish. I did start Pursuit of Happiness. It made me want to go finish that movie. Book. The book that I want to talk about real quick. Did you have anything else for that movie?
No.
Okay. Good. I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 out of 5. It's a really good movie, man.
I give it a 4 also. 4.
4? Yeah. My book is The Expectant Father. And in this book, let me give you real quick. Armin A. Bride with Jennifer Ash Ruddock. The Expectant Father. So I bought this book when we were about to have a kid, before the miscarriage and stuff like that. That's when I bought the book. And I just wanted to have a book that kind of gave me some information on being a father. This book gives you a month-to-month guide from like birth, like conception, to the actual delivery, and then like even a few months beyond, just what to expect, what she's going through, what the baby's going, is what you're going through, what your wife or your kid's mom is going through, and what the baby is going through. All of that stuff. Things you should buy, resources, things you should purchase, stuff like that. So I actually decided to read it very recently, actually. I said, all right, I'm going to just sit down and read this thing, man. And it was really, really good. And I feel like I understand so much more about the birthing, the pregnancy, the process, resources, and stuff like that. So in my opinion, whether you're an expectant father or not, I think this is a book that you should read. And I got another 2 hours about being a father to talk to you about, but I know it's time for us to go live life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. For sure.
And our listeners to go live life. We appreciate you guys. We had you for a while today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm sick. I hope you could hear it. I'm sorry. I apologize, but we wanted to get to you and talk to you.
Yeah, man. Hey, you're right. Been on a while, but most definitely want to throw another shout out to that merch. Make sure you guys check that out. Mississippi, I'm gonna share this with you guys. Make sure you guys share that, and everybody else too, man. Big shouts out to everybody, man. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Again, another shout out to all the new Chiefs, So hey, It is what it is, man. Let's go. Let's get it, man. Holla at you, world.